Hey, how we lose Rodrigo? There he is.
Hi.
Hello.
Hola.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Hola.
Hey, everybody. Well, tonight's live stream is pretty self-explanatory. We've all just gotten back from Las Vegas, barely. Crazy weather, so we're all kind of worried, but I think everyone got home just fine, and we've had a almost full work week. So we decided, instead of doing this on a Sunday like we normally do, let's do it middle of the week so SHOT Show doesn't get too far away from us where we forget everything. I think my YouTube feed is still flooded with dozens of channels covering SHOT Show. I think even Kyle just uploaded a video today. So yeah,
I got a few more.
Damn. That's
Just
crazy,
keep it going.
dude.
I'm out, so I don't have any more to upload. I may do the PSA one, but I don't even know if it's worth editing. Anyway, we'll go around the table, we'll introduce ourselves, and then we'll talk about kind of how we're going to structure tonight's video. I'm Clay. Figure you guys knew that if you're subscribed to the channel. We've got Mark from Fit and Fire, Rodrigo, H-Town Werewolf, and we got Kyle from Gear Know How. All full-fledged members of the Shill Guild. Hell yeah, which is not a joke. Mark said it was a joke last time. Not a joke.
Check is cashed.
Any checks with that. So how's everyone doing in the chat tonight? Where are you from? What are you drinking? I know it's Wednesday, but I know Rodrigo's drinking, so it's not going to stop everybody. Iowa, checking
Iowa.
in.
Ooh, it's cold there.
Yeah, we haven't had any snow yet. We just had a couple of nights where it froze, a little bit of ice. It really wasn't bad at all. Courtney checking in from your sister's ass. My favorite place to be.
Nay.
New Hampshire, very cool. We all know where Possum's checking in from. Yeah, Jameson, very cool. All right, well, fellas. So, and again, everyone here on the chat, they've all got their own YouTube channels and Instagrams, so feel free. I'm sure maybe Jerry and Rachel will be dropping their links down in the comments, but in case you don't know, I've got Kyle's page pulled up here. Let me go ahead and pull up everyone's YouTube channel. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Let me share.
You know how.
Make sure I don't share my Prawn Hub screen.
Those prawns.
We may have Steve joining us later too. He's on a completely different time zone, so it's hard for him. Gear Know How, Mr. Stevie's channel. I think he's already got, maybe a dozen SHOT Show videos.
Crazy. That's a grind.
Fit and Fire, ton of SHOT Show coverage already. H-Town actually has like 2 full feature-length tours of SHOT Show, which I found to be hilarious, and a little bit with Pioneer Arms. And then Steve will show his channel if he comes around. I've only done like 6 videos. That's probably all I'm going to end up doing. But yeah. Man, you know what? This was the first SHOT Show in 3, maybe 4 years where I haven't come home like deathly sick.
Mm-hmm.
Same.
So very excited about that. Lost a lot of money this year at the casino, which is not like me.
Just keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, Rachel wasn't there for all of it, so she doesn't know. Hey, so who in the chat was at SHOT Show? I see there were a few people, and Jerry's sharing everyone's YouTube links. Thank you, Jer Bear. Who else was at SHOT Show? I saw Super Geo Killer was there. Super Geo dude. But who was there, man? A lot of you dudes are sneaky, and you get into SHOT Show somehow, and I don't know who you are. And you're always in the chat. This guy looking for Meridian Defense coverage. Meridian did not have a booth. A couple of their dudes were walking around. I saw them one time, so I have no coverage.
They had some of their rifles kind of out and about as well, I thought.
Yeah, I think they were doing a couple of waffles at a couple of booths with their guns. Hey, speaking of Meridian, they just launched their 101s and their 103s 2 days ago, and the 101s sold out 2 times over, I believe. So that stuff's
crazy.
It's
awesome for them.
Yeah. Coco Danger Noodle was at SHOT Show with us. Very cool. All right. So I thought what we would do to start off the night, let's talk about the vaporware from last year. In my opinion, overall, and we should probably say this first, I guess our overall impressions of SHOT Show this year. Mark, you've been to so many. This was my 5th one. Kyle, you've been to a bunch. Rodrigo, this was number 2 for you.
Yeah,
I
number
would just
2.
say for me, I can remember the last 2 SHOT Shows vividly, and I remember them being a lot more exciting, way more new product. I was just way more hyped to go. I felt like I came back and I had way more videos to produce. This year just felt like a lull. It felt like people were way less excited. I had to really struggle to find booths that were interesting. I don't know how you guys feel about it.
Yeah, for sure. There was a couple that took us by surprise. Clay, you've already done one video of one of those booths already, which I thought was pretty interesting. But I would say, every year, first stop, as soon as the doors open, first day, I'm racing over to PSA, and I show up and they've got that, what is it, the AXS or whatever. That's all they really wanted to talk about. They were trying to, they were working really hard to not bring up the X57 or the X9. So I dropped my video about 2 hours after I stopped at their booth, and every comment, where X57, where X9, you had one job, and all this other stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'm not even going to start commenting on those. So,
That was actually on my list for vaporware.
Yeah, same.
Wasn't there.
Yeah, I think all of my stuff was from PSA. All the vaporware that didn't make it.
They've become vaporware experts at this point. I mean,
it's impressive.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they've got the gold. What do you call it, from like Call of Duty, where you master a
Max Prestige.
Yeah, Max Prestige on vaporware. So, yeah.
Yeah, I had a lot of notes on vaporware. The 5.7 from PSA was one of them, even though I really wasn't that interested in it. I even put the VOOC as kind of vaporware because the generation they had at SHOT Show this year, to me, was like less than the generation they had last year.
They neutered it for sure.
Yeah, so they were like, all right, tell me what's wrong with it. Like, what happened to the charging handle on the right side? What happened to why'd you change everything? Anyway, that was definitely on my list. One thing we'll talk, I know everyone here knows about the big vaporware from last year, but one thing I was kind of bummed about at the B&T booth last year, Rodrigo brought it up. They were actually teasing a SIG Rock and Lock lower that would fit on a bunch of the American SIGs. So if you had one of the American SIG SWATs that took AR mags, B&T was going to make a Rock and Lock lower, which made those things way more interesting to own. I didn't see anything about that over there. It was just, I don't know. I didn't really see a lot of B&T that I got super hyped about. That was one thing I was really hoping they would come out with, because those SIG SWATs don't go for that much money, and it would make them way more appealing to me.
Yeah, that was on my list too. I didn't see any of that.
Pindad, the company that was going to import the FNCs from last year, maybe they were here the year before. I had a butt ton of DMs from people asking me to go find that booth to see if the FNC was coming in. I don't even know if that's a company anymore. They definitely weren't there this year. So, total vaporware. I've got, this is the big one. And it's so crazy because right before SHOT Show, I was looking for my lanyard holder, and this card fell out of it from last year, which is the card from Insight Arms, the SVD. So I looked up the website, doesn't exist anymore. The email comes back as non-deliverable from this guy. So yeah, I don't think the SVDs are ever going to happen. That was probably the number one thing people were asking about, other than the Daewoo's. What's going on with Insight Arms? So Insight was based out of Houston. So the whole background there is they signed up for KB after last year's SHOT Show. So I'm like, wow, these things are really going to happen. They backed out within like 2 weeks of signing up, and then never answered another email. Their website shortly thereafter was gone. And that's been, at this point, like 10 months ago when that happened, and there's been nothing. So I take that company's defunct, unfortunately. So
Just
that was
real
big.
quick,
That was a big one.
I just wanted to jump in here real quick, Clay. I see a comment from Hardy Hat. Vaporware is something that's promised that never materializes. It just vanishes. So yeah,
It's like
that's
Kaiser
the
Soze.
yeah.
Yeah, so their last year had a lot of super promising stuff, and then I guess the two really big ones from last year, and I'm gonna let Kyle jump in because I'm sure he can name one of them. What are two of the big ones from last year that absolutely did not happen?
That's your cue, Kyle.
Oh,
I
you're
don't
muted.
think your mic's on.
Kyle, you're muted. He's like,
There you go.
There you go. Nope.
nope.
Oh no. Might have to back out and come back in.
Yeah, back out and come back in. All right, Rodrigo, name one of those two.
Of the vaporwares from last year?
Yeah, the
The
vaporware.
big ones.
Oh, the big ones. You sure you want me to cover it?
Yeah.
All right. So it was located at the B&T booth, and it was that weird suppressor like VSS thing that the guys
Yeah.
were yapping about. Remember that was like all the rage.
The BSD AS Val.
Yep.
Oh, I've got it pulled up right here.
And that's the one that Ian went kind of hard after them in one of his videos, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I don't really know if Ian went that hard on him, but this guy definitely went super hard back on Ian. I think there was a comment where he was going to stretch Ian's butthole out with his fist or something to that nature
Mhm.
because of the video that Ian put out. So yeah, that was a bummer. And this gun was obviously debuted at SHOT Show, which we'll talk about a little later. But the second all of that started happening, this gentleman got on Instagram really trying to poo-poo on it and saying that he was going to get attorneys involved. And he sent me a couple messages asking me to like share this post, which I did not. And a bunch of other people trying to get them to share this post. I guess like some sort of intellectual properties were being robbed or something from a gun that literally everyone's robbing the intellectual properties from Russia, which is kind of crazy. But anywho, yeah, so biggest vaporware from last year. Now, I know the dude's still working on it. Like just today, he made a post about the dust covers, which looks like they're being milled
Mhm.
instead of stamped.
Which is exactly what
Roswell's doing.
Roswell is doing.
Do we got your volume, Kyle?
Am I back? Can you
Yeah,
hear me?
you're back.
Yep.
There we go. That's so weird.
Hey, Kyle, welcome back.
Oh, welcome. Oh, it's good to see you guys.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Vaporware, yeah.
this guy's been actively posting about it. Bryce, I couldn't think of his name. Bryce from BSD. I've never had a cross word with the guy. He's always been super respectful to me, but I'm just telling you why the community has such an issue with the guy. Just a lot of interesting posts. I'll just put it to you that way, especially after he made the video with Ian, and Ian kind of made it like a post SHOT Show 2025 where he like had no faith in Bryce or this product, and then Bryce reacted quite viciously with his posting afterwards, and it's been tough to watch, but I do wish him all the best. So big time vaporware. The other one, not total vaporware, but it just hasn't happened yet. Mark, what do you think I'm talking about?
Oh, I've drank a lot since last year. I'm spacing it at the moment.
Let's just say we'll probably get the cars before we ever get their guns.
Oh goodness, yeah. Duh, that was one of my better producing videos too. The freaking Daewoos, man.
The Daewoo, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, how did I space that one?
Yeah, you spaced that one pretty hard.
I did, man. Especially with like Motto Memes freaking shared part of my video on his Instagram.
That's right.
Yeah,
K2A7.
so in case everyone has been living under a rock, Mark, you explained it so well in your video. What is the current status?
So the current status is that there really isn't a current status. They do have a facility here in the United States that they're looking to eventually import the K2 and K2S rifles, but outside of that, that's kind of where they're at. They are getting, I guess, it kind of lost in the weeds with what needs to happen to bring them in by the um, ATF's regulations. But I did see a whole bunch of comments that was like, just do what IWI does and bring them in as pistols.
Yeah.
Like completely supersede all of that type of stuff. But that's kind of where we're at right now, is that they're still working on ATF approval, and they've got a facility here in the United States ready to go that once they get the approvals, they'll start manufacturing the lowers and then import all of the uppers.
That would be cool. At least the upper will be a true import no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And
Now,
that
what are the
K7
odds?
is pretty sweet. And that could be easily a pistol. Just take that brace off or take that stock off.
Right. Because then, you know, the intent for it to be a rifle wouldn't be there. Because I know sometimes the ATF will say, like, okay, you're just going to take a stock off this gun that has an 18-inch barrel like the K2 and import that as a pistol. We see the intent of that just being sold as a rifle or instantly converted as a rifle. This, however, not so much. The odds of that ever being available, I'd say in 3 years, it's a maybe if the factory is up and running. At least that's what they said. But I wouldn't hold my breath anytime soon. The one I'm probably most excited about is this one, the K2C. Because it's a K2, has everything the K2 has. And you can put modern stuff on it. And it still looks kind of retro. And we never got this. Like, you can go buy a K2 here in this country, you know, for $2,500 to $3,000. Can't buy this. And that would be really cool.
I'm super interested in the K13A1. That one, I don't know what it is about that one, but it just is like, it just calls my name.
That would be this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sexier than a 416, I think. I just think it's cooler. I don't know why. It's just cool.
Yeah.
Do you remember, this is short stroke, right?
Yep.
Just like the 416. And, you know, I will say, actually having a, I don't know if you picked it up here, I'll pause it. If they were to actually bring in some of the K1A uppers that are factory short barrels, unlike the ones that we got here that have the extension permanently affixed, the 16-inch barrel, it'd be really cool to have some real deal K1As with the factory barrel length.
Oh, yeah.
But I know that's way later down the road if they ever start manufacturing the lowers here.
Much bigger booth, though, in a better area. So, you know, improving.
Yeah. Yeah, but still no good news. And this was probably, I think, what most people would say was the most highly anticipated booth of shots for me and the messages I was getting. Because my S&T video from last year was the biggest video of the year for me. So gauging by interest, people were hyper interested in what was happening with this. And still, all year long, I've got, even right now, look at this. I've got 1, 2. I'm not going to show all their info, but I have 3 S&T Defense business cards, and I guarantee you, just like last year, if I were to email them, I probably won't hear anything until next SHOT Show, which was the case last time.
Yep.
Not even a, hey, we don't have any news. Check back in 6 months. There was nothing. So yeah, that was a little bit of a bummer. So all in all, I think that's kind of one thing that played into SHOT Show kind of being, I don't know, not as good as last year.
Yeah, it was a buzzkill.
A lot of letdowns, you know.
Yeah. It had a completely different vibe to it as well. I mean, I can tell you one of the biggest surprises for me is I was texting with my contact with Aero Precision, and I said, "Hey, where are you at?" And they said, "You know, hey, I'm over at the booth." And I was like, "Okay, I'll be right over." I walk over there. There was no booth. Aero Precision was not at SHOT Show. They had representatives there. They had the floor space marked off, and they put a whole bunch of couches there, and they had a sign that says, "Please enjoy this lounge sponsored by Aero Precision."
Oh wow.
And I
Yeah.
was like, "What?" And then I ran into my contact, and I was like, what's going on?" And they're like, "We're not going out of business. I know that this doesn't look good. We're not going out of business." And I'm like, "What? Okay."
Damn.
Okay, but they did. I mean, the way that they spun it made sense. They said, "Hey, instead of spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on this booth and everything, we're going to dump that into fixing the problems that we currently have." So,
Hey, speaking of people that didn't have a booth, that also kind of bummed me out was Stuff and Things.
Yeah.
yeah,
Last year had a very interesting booth. They had the Stipard. It was the
Mhm. Yep.
Gepard clone last year, and that a lot of people. Every time I went to their booth, a line of people wanting to play with it, and they were teasing the Bullpup crank chassis. God, what is it called? They have a funny name for it. What is that thing called? Someone in the chat knows. They'll tell me within 2 seconds. But because they were just hyping that up before SHOT Show, I'm like, hell yeah, Stuff and Things is on the list. Go by that booth. Finally get to play with this Bullpup Crink that's never been available. You only seen pictures from Russia. The Groza, that's right.
Rosa, yeah.
oh,
And
yeah.
they weren't going. I sent them a DM. I was like, yo, your name's not pulling up in the directory. And they're like, yeah, dude, we're not going. So bummer. There was a few booths or vendors that just weren't there this year. So all in all led to kind of a bummer year. But on that note, I think we've all got 5 booths that we did find pretty freaking interesting. Hopefully we've all chosen some different things, but because there wasn't that much at SHOT Show, I guarantee you most of our lists look exactly the same, if I had to guess.
Agreed.
Oh, yeah. We haven't talked about the SR3M. I promise you, it's on everyone's list. I'm going to let the chat decide who gets to go first to talk about the first booth that they visited that they really like. And it can be in no particular order. You can go last place to first, whatever you want to do.
Spin the wheel.
So chat, who's going first? And thanks for being so quick on the Groza. So quick. I would love to get my hands on one of those kits because I have a PSA crank that I don't really know what to do with now, and that would be perfect.
Rachel's going first.
All right, Rachel, you're first.
Jump in.
Rachel, what booth did you like? What booth did you like? She said Cerakote was her favorite booth. Funny story about Cerakote. Okay, let's see. Fit and Fire, you had the first comment, so hang tight. The Cerakote thing, if you watch Rodrigo's video, which I think I've got it pulled up right here. It's part 2, Rodrigo, right?
Yeah, it's part 2.
Yeah, okay. We're at the Cerakote booth at SHOT Show, and they tell us, hey, we're going to film some content. We've got the tank. We're going to go ride around in the lobby. And he's like, we've got approval to do this, so it's going to be great. So the gentleman hops in this thing, puts his flight suit on, the helmet, everything, and he drives it out into the lobby. And he's like, all right, hop in. So we all take turns. Dude, I hop in this thing, and I'm like honking at people, and I'm wearing my gold tracksuit. I'm like, move out of my way, gypsy. And I'm like honking at people, and we're literally cutting through the crowd. And all these ladies keep pulling out their phone. I'm like, no pictures, woman. I'm being extremely rude. And then Rodrigo tears ass through it. And then we find out it's got a drifting brake. So Rodrigo's like ripping the drifting brake, and like we're getting a little out of hand. Rachel is hauling ass with it. This goes on for like 20 minutes. Out of nowhere, some dude with an earpiece comes over and walks up to our guy at Cerakote, and he's like, excuse me, who told you could do this? He's like, he just like pulled a name out of his ass. He's like, Linda. I think Linda. Yeah. Linda got approval from Linda. And she said, he goes, Linda told you could do this. And he goes, uh-huh. He goes, I'll meet you back at your booth. We'll see what Linda has to say about that. And he's like, okay. He gets in the thing. We're driving back to his booth, and he leans out and he says, hey, if we get kicked out of here, please film it because it's going to make awesome content. So This is the guy from Cerakote saying this. Anyway, we get back to the booth, and some lady named Linda rolls up on a motorized scooter and scolds him in front of everyone. She's like, "What did I tell you?" And he goes, "You said we could have the cart at the booth." She goes, "And then did I tell you you could drive the cart?" He goes, "I was under the impression we would be able to drive it." And she's like, "I told you under no circumstances are you to drive this thing anywhere." And he goes, "You know what? Yeah, okay, yeah, that's what you said." And he goes, "Don't touch it again." He's like, "All right." So they leave, and he's got the camera guy like peeking around the corner, and he's like, "Please tell me you filmed me getting in trouble because the owner of Cerakote wants content." I'm like, "Yes." On camera.
That's awesome.
So they were actively trying to get kicked out. He said the owner of Cerakote wanted them to be on camera getting kicked out of SHOT Show. So that was crazy. But
Damn.
Rachel's favorite booth. All right, Mark, first booth.
All right, let me just check here. And yes, the check just cleared. Zastava, USA.
There we go.
Was
Money.
my favorite one because obviously the M84 was something really, really nice. But in our group DM on IG, Jacob made a very good point that he's like, he was a little bit more of a downer about it, but he was basically saying, I think it was just a hook to bring people in, because as you start looking into that, should be near the end, start looking at the M84, that is a legit PKM, or at least a Yugoslavia PKM, because that's meant to shoot from the open bolt position and all the different things that is not allowed, So to make all of those changes, it's going to be very difficult for this to become a real thing. But that, to me, that was interesting. I thought that was cool. The things that I really liked, though, were that they were going to start producing the AB1 kits, which, for those that don't know, AB1 kits are the rifle that Zastava started producing before the AB2s. So it's not going to have the bulge trunnion. It's going to have 1 millimeter receiver. And
you can see the difference here. No
Yeah.
bulge.
Yep.
Bulge.
Yep. So that was really cool. And then because of the export ban that they've been fighting through, they started tinkering around with their M85 and their M90. The M85, they're trying to figure out a way to offer that in 300 blackout. And then their M90, they have produced one here that has a 16-inch barrel instead of the 18-inch barrel. And both of those I thought was really good ideas from them. So that was kind of one of my, I wouldn't say it's like the big surprise or anything, but that was one of my favorite booths. And it is every year.
Yeah.
Low key, that short M90 was probably one of the coolest things at their booth. And
Mhm.
he made it seem like they're full on going to start making short M90s that will come in as they're going to have to sell them as pistols. So it's going to have a tack welded on. Oh, no, that's incorrect. They're going to sell them as rifles. It's a 14.5 pin and weld with an extra long flash hider. Why they have a brace on it, I don't know. But they're going to have to, they're imported as rifles. They're going to have to stay rifles. So they're going to tack weld on a flash hider.
I think that was my favorite thing at Zastava, that short M90, because it's like the perfect length. I mean, the M85 is nice, but that one is like that's money right there.
What about the black one? I'm sorry, the black
one.
Black one.
You're not
No.
hyper interested in the 300 blackout?
No, I don't want to have to buy more different type of ammo.
Well, and that's one of the things I told Ronco is that, there are other companies that are making 300 blackout AK shorties, and they've become very popular. I would say that was a good idea for them to look at that. But yeah, that's a good freeze frame.
So I asked, and I know he's tired of the one thing they told me when I walk up. They said you can talk to Ronco, ask him whatever you want. Just don't bring up the M21. I was like, what? Of course, I'm not going to bring it up. And the first thing I asked when we got over there, I said, hey, that M90 kind of looks like an M21, kind of. Are you trying to tell us something? And he's like, unfortunately, with the M21, no. He's like, there's no chance. He just said that it's just 922R compliance. He said because, the furniture on it is so unique, they have to replace the furniture on these things to make them compliant. And he said for them to reproduce furniture, it would be so expensive to sell commercially, no one would buy it. And I'm like, I don't think AK people. We love overpaying for cool stuff we're not allowed to have. So
Yeah.
I would try it.
Or I mean, just look at the Saiga sporters that are out there and how people will buy those up in a heartbeat, knowing that they're going to have to spend another $1,000-$1,200 to get it converted. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me ask the chat if an M21 came in with some 922R compliant parts, but for the most part was M21. And let's say it was 1,800 plus, let's say max cap 2K. Would you buy it in the chat? That would be a tough nut, but it's literally never been available to have a kit put together. You're not going to find a kit. They're very, very rare in this country. An M90A1 kit in this country sells for like $1,700. Just the kit. That's not the M21 kit. Like the chat's like, hell yeah. So I don't know. I just think Rocco's misjudging what people would pay. It could be a small batch. It could be 100 of them. They'd sell every single one of them. And then the second they sold out, those guns would double in value.
See, and I think that's one thing that they're missing out on is the fact that they could bring in a small batch and they could hype it up. Hey, we have 100 available, and they could pretty much name their price. And
as long as they don't do that cringy like anniversary, you know how they have some wood stocks where they like carve anniversary model. Like nobody wants that. Just say it's special. Don't engrave it. Don't make it special with some stupid engraving, and just sell some M21s.
Yep.
Hey, side note, over at the Zostava booth, there's one employee that's kind of crusty, and Ronco has told him specifically, like, you cannot go on camera. So like he has to get permission to even talk to anybody. I don't know what his name is, but he's really cool, but he's just really crusty. So side note.
So they
is that Ben? It's not Ben, is it?
No, Ben's not crusty. Other than that, the other really cool thing that they're doing is the M70B1, the fixed stock M70 with the grenade gas shut off.
Yep.
Those kits are fairly rare. In Ronco's opinion, the AB1 is probably the rarest kit. The non-bulged trunnion and slimmer receiver underfolder in the middle there. But if I could pick any one of those, I would definitely want a M70B1 with the fixed stock. I just think that would be really cool. I think Sentry once a long time ago sold B1s, and it's probably the only time they've ever been imported that I know of, like imported and assembled and sold. So that was really cool. And one thing that was so awesome, and I talked Ronco's ear off about it, was the trench art. Well, you can't see very well, but two of these guns have some incredible trench art. That one in the middle has some initials carved in the handguard, but that B1, the whole parts kit was painted black, and the stock has a double-headed eagle carved in, covers up the whole stock, and there's actually a field modded, welded-on optic mount on the dust cover. They pulled it out of the kit like that. And Ronco told this really cool story how that gun, that B1, was actually sold to a customer. As you see it, the customer returned it because he couldn't believe they would sell him a gun with this weird optic mount welded to the receiver, when that's how it came out. It came out of the kit that way, which makes it amazingly cool. So Ronco said, we just kept it, and this is going to be like our display piece because it's so peculiar and has such incredible trench art.
And And that's proprietary too. Like I was asking him,
Yeah.
what's the scope mount for? And he's like, honestly, he probably made the scope for it too. Like,
Yeah. Who the hell knows? Here,
and
Mark.
also the that's a later war production, because he was saying that early on in the war, whatever war this was in, I guess in the 90s there, he's like they were not allowed to mess with the guns, with the rifles, no paint, no anything. He's like, so this one has so many mods to it, must have been seen some action for sure.
That was a really cool story that he told. And, you know, a lot of people might not know this, but Ronco fought in the Yugoslav wars in the 90s. It was like a forefront war, and every country that was in that war were all using Serbian. They were all shooting at each other with Serbian-made AKs. So it's very common to find Yugoslavian furniture sets that have like Muslim inscriptions, because some parties in that war were Muslim, and you'll find some Yugoslavian, you'll find all kinds, all on Serbian guns. Well, at the time, Yugoslavian guns, just because they all used the exact same guns to shoot at each other. So it's pretty crazy. And Ronco actually told the story of how he was actually issued an M84 PKM in the war. And he told this awesome story. And he paid me to say this, so let me try to recall it very well. That the Serbs, and I guess at the time the Yugoslavs, had a nickname for the M84 called Zetsa. And Zetsa is a famous folk singer from the 90s who was extremely popular at the time. And they said the gun shooting sounded like her voice. So it's kind of like how we come up with the slang term, the crink, even though it's not a crink. They all refer to the PKs as Zetsa, which I thought was pretty cool. And I know the video that I posted of them, some Serbians were like, oh my God, I fuck with Zetsa. That's my shit. Like, they love Zetsa. So pretty cool. I don't know if he's ever talked that openly about it, about his time, but it was just cool. I think Rocco's a really cool dude, regardless of the fact that he pays at least 3 out of the 4 of us here. Genuinely like a pretty cool dude.
Well, I hit him up hard this year about going to Serbia and walking through the Zastava factory. And he's like, and a buddy of mine that I'm possibly going to Germany with in September, he's like, hey, Serbia is only about a 10-hour drive. I'm like, oh man. So I'd really like to see that, make that happen.
That would be really cool, man. Yeah, I agree. One of the coolest boots at SHOT Show, hands down. And interestingly enough, we all were kind of bullshitting before SHOT Show. Like, Zastava's going to be a stinker this year. Like, there's nothing. Last year it was the M72 and the new suppressor. This year they were just like, blam, we got B1s, we got AB1s, and they were selling those police trade-in pistols, surplus kits with all the accessories with it. And that was really cool. And then, of course, the PK, the short M90, 300 Blackout, they had like all this new stuff, and they didn't talk about any of it before SHOT Show. So very pleasantly surprised.
Yep.
I did do a quick video on the what is it? The Red Arsenal? Is that what the Bulgarian rifles? Red Star Arsenal. Yeah. I did do a video on that, but the sound was all corrupted on it, and there was nothing I could use from it. So, but
you saw one there?
Yeah, it was behind everything. They had it all set up.
Oh,
so
I didn't miss that because I was curious if they were going to have that on display there. I didn't see it.
Yep, they certainly did. I meant to do a video on it, like I said, but it just didn't work out. And it was nice to hear him say, he's like, hey, this has nothing to do with Zastava. This is my own company. I own several different companies, and this is something that I wanted to do to kind of offset things that were happening with Zastava because of the export bans.
Very cool.
Yeah, he's pretty open about it.
Well, I know he's pissy about the video that I made. He let me know he was not happy with it. And I was like, sorry, Dad.
That check got canceled real quick.
Yeah. Rodrigo, just follow
Yeah.
the momentum. What do you got?
Well, I have one that I didn't make a video on because we didn't see it until the very last day. And it said PTR. They have the 3-stamp MP5, the SD. I thought that thing was pretty cool.
Yep, I did a video on that.
Steve's got a video on that too. Let me pull up Steve's
Yeah.
video.
Yeah, it's pretty
I
cool.
was really impressed with that because it was Shot Show's so big. Like I totally passed it by, and I was like, we didn't see it until the last day, and I didn't really have all my my gear on me to make a video. But that thing right there, man, that thing was nice. That was cool.
Explain the 3 stamps.
Mhm.
I get the 2 stamps. What's the 3rd stamp?
The third, so it's 2 suppressors and the SBR basically.
2 suppressors.
Because-
That's right.
Yeah,
'Cause you
'cause
can
it's
take
a
the
2-piece
suppressor
suppressor
off.
system.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
like the pre-suppressor and like the final suppressor.
Appetizer, entree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So I thought that was pretty cool. The guy, what was his name? David, or what's the guy's name that we went?
Bill?
Bill Gentry,
Yeah.
formerly
Yeah,
of KUSA.
So Bill, when we went up there on Friday, he had the barrel in hand, and he showed us the barrel, and it's not like your typical SDs where it was just circles cut into the barrel, like just drilled holes. It had slants in it, and the slants were also in the form of the rifling.
Look,
So
you can
as
kind of
the-
see it there. Let me zoom up.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
See 'em?
it's like angle cuts.
Yeah, so it follows. He said it followed the angles of the rifling, and so what that does is you don't have to clean it as often as you would a traditional SD. So I thought this was cool. Like I said, I wish I would have done a video on it, but I didn't. But I still think this is something that was pretty cool to see.
And fully built out like that, he claims quieter than an HK.
Right. He did say one thing though to me and Clay is that 124s only. That's what he said.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm.
Heavy.
He said otherwise it would hurt it pretty bad.
Yeah, it would hurt. It would hurt it. So he said 124s. He said don't even try 147s. So
He said you'll blow up your gun.
you'll blow up your gun. I was like, oh damn.
That's
Okay.
weird. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
No. So to me, that's. I mean, last year for I guess Century had their version, right? But that was just like a faux suppressor on the end. And
Yeah, and
this
it
is like,
allowed you
Yeah.
to you know, put your own can on it. It gave you the look.
yeah,
But a lot of dudes were buying those and they were doing barrel swaps on them for real SD barrels that had the threads. And then there's companies that will sell you the SD, will sell you the SD suppressor, or kind of like what this is doing. They'll sell you a sleeve that sleeves the barrel and allows you to hub thread a can into it. So it just
Right.
gives you like this massive blast chamber that goes into your can. A lot of
Yeah.
people are doing that. Speaking of
Yeah, and
MP5, his ears must have been burning because Mr.
Oh,
Steve
sheesh.
There
Oh,
he is.
man.
What's
Hola.
up? Hola,
What's
what's
up,
up,
dude?
fool?
Oh man,
Hey,
why are you
I
doing
still-
your porno voice on us?
Yeah.
No, I'm trying to get this thing full screen here.
Hey, I just stole one of your bits here, but sorry.
He got you another view.
Well, while you're
What
here,
do
you
you
can
mean,
chime in on it. We were just discussing the triple stamp MP5 from PTR. How do you feel about it, Steve?
You can hear me, right? Just making sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I don't really quite understand why they did this 3-stamp thing because like I guess without seeing it, I don't really know what is happening in that first section that is requiring a serial number to be like a tiny suppressor and then another suppressor that attaches to that. I don't really understand what they're trying to, how that helps make it more quiet than a standard MP5 SD. Because essentially it's a big blast chamber where the gas is bled off by the ports in the barrel. And then it goes into the baffle stack portion of the SD, the long SD silencer. So I don't know what that technology they're talking about or like what it is that's actually happening in that. I mean, it's, you know, I mean, it's 3 stamps. It doesn't cost anything now. I mean, I still think it's excessive. I mean, I've never shot one. I've not.
The cost of the gun now is like almost 4 G's, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
very, very pricey.
So, Steve, we were just talking. I can't think of the company's name. Chester's Hobbies has a video on it. They make a lot of different like SD uppers for AR-15s, and they make SD handguards for MP5s. They basically make SD barrels with a big sleeve that will sleeve the barrel, and it will have hub threads, and you can actually thread whatever can you have into it. And the sleeve acts like a big blast chamber, so you can kind of make your own SD for relatively cheap. I'd pull up their website, but I think they have prices all over it, so I don't really want to.
Okay, what company did you say it was?
I will look it up. I will find
Well,
Chester's.
because I know. So I'm trying to think. The one that's just jumping out at me was the guy who did the one for the Scorpion Evo. It's basically the same thing. I mean, it's a barrel swap.
It's the same.
That's Novox. Novox did Novox / I think Nexus. They're both kind of collabing on that. But Novox made the Scorpion one. I have one of those, and it's actually, to be honest with you,
Broad River Tacticals.
Broad River, yeah. So it's essentially the same thing. So right, it's just one big blast chamber, and then you can, Alpha or Brava hub your can onto the end of that, and it's a ported barrel. Yeah, I mean the thing is though, like what people are doing, and you can still save some money, is if you buy the Sentry AP5 SD thing that they have.
Yep.
You can do that and then just barrel swap an SD barrel, and then you're good to go. So then you don't got to worry about getting somebody like a Dakota Tactical or whoever to do a whole front end conversion, the cage and the whole thing. You can just do a barrel swap. I mean, yeah, that's going to cost a little bit, but nowhere near the cost of like a full build. So you can save some money by getting an SD pistol from like Century, and then just kind of putting like a B&T barrel or whatever brand you want to go with. I mean, you can go that route.
Yeah, it's interesting someone doesn't do that. Like this company will sell you a barrel for your 9mm AR upper. You swap it in, and then they just have a sleeve that threads onto that barrel, and on the end of that sleeve, it's got hub threads. You just put your can on it, and it acts like a gigantic blast chamber, and it's still very quiet, and it doesn't require another stamp. Even if Sentry would have some Turkish clones brought in that way, it's like, hey, you've already got the SD barrel, you got a big ass sleeve attached to it. It's a pistol.
Yeah.
It's got hub threads on the end of the sleeve. Put whatever can you want on it. It hides it right underneath the handguard. Cannot be shot without a suppressor mount. It's something like that. Right. I feel like it's selling hotcakes.
Yeah.
It's just a money grab, because you have to buy that one piece from them, and everybody's going to do that. They're just going to buy. They're going to buy the pistol with that first sleeve, and then they're going to go hub to it. So.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have like the purists, though, like me and others that want the actual SD, right? Like the actual correct setup. I mean, it's really cool and innovative the way these companies are doing these things, where you can sort of get the SD vibe, and it's still basically an SD. It's just not the classic design of what the SD is. I mean, just like I was saying, I compared directly that Scorpion SD setup I did now with that barrel to my MP5 SD. The MP5 SD is still quieter, but I mean, for somebody that's on a budget and doesn't want to spend a bunch of money on a build, I mean, it's not that much louder than the SD. I mean, the MP5 does its magic in there, with the roller delayed and just all of the things that just make it quiet. But I mean, it's not that much difference. I mean, if you want to just be an SD on a budget, it's a good option.
Well, Steve, now that you're here, what was a booth that you really enjoyed visiting?
So I told you I was excited about seeing A3 Industries. And listen, I'm not a Strybog guy. I don't even have one, but I think I'm going to get one after this, because they did this. They're releasing this really cool Strybog right there, Triad chassis. It just looks pretty cool, man. Really compact, small. I thought that was one of the cooler things that I ran into there. Skim through there. He does. He goes through some of their other stuff, their other accessories and stocks. But I think we talk about I think that's towards the end there somewhere.
Whoa, is that a Woodstock?
Uh,
That's
yeah,
cool.
they did some. The one guy's brother does all wood, like walnut furniture, and so that's like an MP5 style stock on the Kuna. But this one actually folds. Like it actually hinges over and folds, which I didn't know until he did it. I was like, man, you couldn't even tell
That's pretty
that it
sick.
did that. But yeah, I just thought that was pretty slick looking. Just the way tiny set up like that with the silencer on it.
That
Very-
company is definitely slept on. A3 is my go-to the last few years for all stocks, braces. They make the best
Yeah.
stuff. And now they have a
Grips.
folding push button too.
Yep. They released the folding push button. Yep. That's
Is
what he
this
was
still
talking
a-
about earlier.
Is this still considered a pistol?
Yeah. So I guess the overall length, whatever the dimensions are, he said that. So I asked him about the 9mm version. So he said it's right now it's going to be released in the 10 and 45 configurations because he said the 9mm is just the receiver is a little too short. And I don't know if that had something to do with the Triad chassis or just overall length dimensions for, the ATF requirements or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I think it's still pretty cool. They do cool stuff.
The angle, that mag, look at that angle. What's going on there? It's like going backwards. See how it's
Your
That's
weenie
the-
designer has the same angle, Rodrigo.
That's the 45 version, right?
Yeah, that's I think
Yeah, so-
he said they use UMP mags or something for them too.
doesn't
I
it
don't know, I
look
guess
raked back though? It's like really raked back.
Mhm.
It seems like
Yeah.
it, but that's how the SP45A3 is.
Yeah,
Ah,
even
gotcha.
the UMP has a super crazy angle to its mag.
Some people like a little curve, I mean,
Yeah.
I know Rodrigo's got no problem getting the poison out. That's for sure.
For her pleasure. Dang. But no, so aside from that, and I don't know where you guys. I'm sorry, I kind of jumped in late. I had some stuff going on, but that was cool. I was happy that I stopped by the Q booth when I did. I know a lot of people don't like Q for various reasons, but they let out some cool things they were working on. I guess they hadn't really released yet, so that was a surprise to me. So it was cool that they talked about some stuff on camera. But yeah,
Well,
man.
hold that for later.
Yeah.
We'll come back to you. So we'll talk about Q in depth.
Hey, Clay, let's ask him about what vaporware from last year because he got in late.
Okay,
So
so
Steve, yeah,
we covered the Daewoo's, kind of having no update really. The BSD AS Val, we covered that. The Pindad FNC imports, we covered those not being anywhere in sight. And we covered the Insight Armory SVDs basically being gone from the face of the earth. And the 5.7 from PSA and the VOOC virtually getting worse after last year. Is there anything we missed that was hyped up last year that ended up being vaporware?
Oh, wasn't that PSA something supposed to release this year and it didn't? Was that the
X9.
was it the X9? I thought there was
X9, the 5.7.
maybe. I'm trying.
so PSA.
I can't really. I don't know. Not that that's jumping in mind because everybody kept asking me because I did that HK video, the booth interview, and everybody's like, "Where's the announcement for the civilian MP7 and the G36 and all this stuff?" Which, if you saw James Reeves' interview with the CEO of HK USA like this past summer or spring, I mean, he confirmed that they're working on those things. They just didn't have a definitive release date on when it would be, coming to the market. So it doesn't look like it's going to be this year since they didn't say anything, but,
I mean,
That's fair enough.
that's a good candidate right there. I mean, I don't understand why they have such a hard time figuring out how to convert an SL8 to a G36. I mean, it's
My understanding on the MP7 side. Now, this was a couple years ago. I talked to one of the guy, like the big guys from Germany, was at the HK booth, and I just was chit chat with him about, the civilian MP7. Like, why can't we get this thing over here, like semi-auto, right? And he claimed, and it could be 100% true. I mean, I don't know that much about it, but because it's a government gun or a contracted gun, and because the 4.6 was designed to defeat body armor, certain level body armor, the German government or whatever consider this like a weapon of war, and it's not something that they want to export, or it could be a civilian model of something because of these parameters of what they consider different things. So I don't know what that means as far as what a civilian version would look like. I imagine it's the same thing. I don't know if it has to be an HK USA product and not a HK German semi-auto import, just kind of like how they did with like the CC9 and the MR 5.5684 is sort of an HK USA thing, not a German gun. Yeah, I mean, who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
I did a quick Google, and it says export license issues with Germany is one of the key factors, as well as import laws, ATF, all the usual stuff.
Right.
I was going to say, but in the meantime, FN had no problem with the PS90.
Right.
Years ago, too.
Yeah.
Same development process with the 5.7 round. Yeah.
Well,
Anyway.
so real quick, so just to piggyback on that, I was the only person I seen do it, and I didn't search it, but the UA or UO, is it UO? UO Arms NT7, the guy who bought Tommy Built's T7, I interviewed that guy, kind of like, what are we to expect? How are they going to take care of Tommy's T7s for customers who have issues and that whole thing? So it was a pretty good, pretty good interview with that guy, just kind of getting some information out of him on what they're trying to do and all that. So at least if HK doesn't do it, well, we should have his MP7 version, upgraded version. So there's that.
Well, on the coattails of vaporware, it kind of leads into my booth. Last year at H&R, they were kind of showing two different guns. One they said ain't gonna happen. One is they debuted the DOE model, which turned out happening, and they also had the A2 LMG there. They said don't plan on it. It's gonna be way too expensive. Well, they completely abandoned it. But what we did get was some really cool stuff. Let me share it here. So H&R, last booth that I visited with Rodrigo before, like this was like wee hours of Friday. We were trying to get out of there. Let me see.
I had the shakes really bad, by the way.
You had the shakes. So not only did they already announce the 607 right before SHOT Show, which if you don't know what that is, it's this really cool, ultra rare, like first attempt at a Colt carbine that has like the telescopic A1 stock with the little toggle in the rear. I'll just fast forward to that because it's pretty disgustingly cool. Where is that little guy?
Oh, the one with that was my favorite. The little shorty.
The 607. Man,
Little mini dissipator.
You think I did more prepared? That must be the first one. Okay, this little guy. So
That thing was sick.
Very cool. So Greg's Gruns actually has a video cloning one of those from years ago, and he's like, dude, oh my God, one of the most crazy expensive guns to clone, and then blam, H&R comes out with it. But so we didn't get the LMG from last year. What we did get was a clone of the Colt 607, which is basically like a H-bar A1 with a bipod, which is pretty cool. The 605 was neat, but there's a glaring issue with the 605. Instead of a 16-inch barrel, it's got like a 15.3-inch barrel, so that little flash hider is pin and welded on there. That kind of sucks. I get it. It's super clone correct, but you can't suppress it. You can't really do anything with it on the muzzle. So I was really bummed about that. I think that was the one flaw with the 605. However, The 606 to me was the coolest thing that they had there. And if I could get it up to the freaking, there we go. Yeah, HRA1 triangular handguards with a really cool set of rotating bipods. Super cool. Big, thick, heavy barrel. And what's so cool about H&R, all these really cool guns that they're cloning, they're doing a lot of guns, versions of Colts that have been completely unobtainium, like the DOE, and they're extremely affordable. Because of H&R, I was able to clone a real Colt DOE. I just bought their barrel and put it on my Colt 9mm, and blam, I have a Colt DOE now. Like, that was not possible several years ago without buying real Colt parts, or maybe there's a couple of companies that were selling really expensive clones. I mean, H&R is doing some cool stuff. I think it's the coolest part of PSA right now.
It really is. I did a video on them too. It was really cool to talk to them. Plus, Mike knows so much. He is a wealth of knowledge.
One of the dudes at PSA, I asked, like, "Hey, is Mike around? I need to talk retro ARs," and they're like, "Let me get the most autistic guy over here."
I got an itch for the tism for ARs. Let's go.
He goes, "Mike is so autistic. He probably collects toy trains. Let me go find him for you."
You know what's funny, real quick, and not to jump off topic, but so when I was over at that Bronco booth talking about that Spaz 12 replica that's supposed to be coming to market, that was getting some attention over there, and he walked over and was asking the dude some questions about it and looking at it like as I was setting up to film my video. And I was like, "What are you doing over here, man? You're PSA. You can't be over here." Like, he's trying to get some trade secrets or something. Like, he's thinking about trying to clone it. You know what I mean? Like, he's trying to clone it or something. But no, we all just got to talking, and we got to talking retro stuff, and just about how, as much as retro has come back in the past few years and has gotten even more popular as time goes on, people wanting these old builds. And he even said, made a good point that I really didn't think about. All the people like in our age bracket that weren't around to enjoy a lot of these guns when they came out. It's just like getting into them now or seeing them now and realizing, like, man, how cool it is. And I guess that's part of, why he enjoys doing it and why he is kind of like bringing the excitement of these guns that people in his age demographic, got to enjoy as it was there. And it's like, bringing these back for the next generation to kind of appreciate and love. So I just dug that conversation. It was cool.
And which one had the stock that was like a very unique collapsible stock?
The 607.
The 607. Yeah, he was saying how he's like, "Oh, I have a friend in another company," and he's like, he's making these because you can't find the surplus anymore, and it's just so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that right there.
They even make the waffle mags. They're cloning the old waffle mags, and you can see there it's a toggle actuated to clone these things. He even said it. The 607 has been pure unobtainium for cloners for a long time without spending a ton of money. And then blam, you can have it right there. You can have a DOE if you want it. You can have a regular Colt 635 9mm if you want it. Like, it's going to shoot just as good, if not better, than the original. And H&R does such a good job with the color. They really get the color right. That gray, not everything's black. They have that old Colt gray, which is such an aesthetic thing with old pre-band Colts from the 80s and early 90s. And even beyond. They really nailed the color. That 605 was beautiful. It even had the neutered upper from when they actually cut off the forward assist from the forging, and they leave a little bit of it there, just like some of those old 605s. Cool attention.
Well, I think what is something that maybe we don't appreciate or even think about really is, if it wasn't for PSA being affiliated with this whole project, like the deep pockets that they have to be able to fund these things and get this stuff off the ground, like we wouldn't have this. You know what I mean? These things wouldn't be a thing. I don't think. I mean, unless I'm missing something. Like, if it wasn't for, I think, PSA is directly responsible for all of this stuff coming back.
Yeah, I mean, Mike even said in the interview back when he was doing Nodak, he would come out with some of these guns that upper on that 605, but they would be extremely limited. He couldn't make them in any high volume at all. So even back when he was Nodak, he was doing it from time to time. But again, if you missed it, he probably wouldn't make one for 5 years. So now this is probably the best move as far as what my interests are that PSA has done, acquiring this brand and allowing. Mike said they literally let him do whatever the hell he wants to do. If he has a crazy idea, they let him just go make it, and we'll figure out how to make it not $2,000. So I love everything that they do at H&R.
And a few years ago, I toured PSA's facilities, like there's several of them, and H&R had its own like corner of a warehouse where he's very meticulous, like you said, like detail oriented, high quality. And if you had an idea, basically PSA is helping fund these projects. I'm like, well, how many can you sell? Oh, we'll sell out of this DOE if we make it. All right, build 10,000. Like, it's just, that is really cool to see that they kind of have some backing for him for H&R.
Yeah, I mean, the old slick-sided lowers that don't have the extra fencing, that's sexy. Like, no one's reproducing those. It's just cool. And you can even see the extra nub here where the Ford Assist used to be. Like, that's a neat detail from some old 605s where the Air Force was just like, the Army might use a Ford Assist. We don't want it. So cut that shit off and make us some 605s. And they literally left that little nub on there. So they cloned that. It's just cool.
Yeah.
Really cool.
And that guy did say that he's going to bring one new thing to NRA. So that was
He
cool.
did say that. He said H&R is now making Mike not have to deal with the day-to-day, and he just gets to be like a creative guy at H&R. He doesn't have to deal with the business side anymore.
Creative genius.
Creative genius. That's right. All right, Mark, what's the next booth?
It's a tough one. There was a couple of other ones that I really, really enjoyed, but the one that I think had a odd fascination for me was Murdoch & Co. with their SA80 or L85, A1, 2, and 3. I thought that was really, really cool. I initially thought that these were just kit builds, that they were manufacturing the receiver and then using kits to pull it together. But no, these are 100% American made SA80s. And yeah, they're going to do it. They said that they should be ready for production this summer. So we shall see.
We joked about those after we all kind of checked them out, and we're like, man, like the comments are going to be 50-50 split on love hate.
Mm-hmm.
I have the same video you guys have. It is extreme hate, extreme like excitement. It's just like those are the two.
Well, what's interesting was as soon as I touched down in Kansas City on the way back, Mark Krebs was calling me, and so I talked to him for a little bit, and he asked me, he's like, what were some of the interesting things that you saw at SHOT Show? And I told him, I was like, there weren't that many, but let me tell you, Murdoch & Co. has this SA80, and he said to me, as soon as they release it, I will buy one. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. So, and just talking with this guy, I could tell he was tired. He was telling the exact same story over and over and over again, but you could still hear the passion that he has, just because these are basically historical firearms that are about to be lost to the pages of history. And he's trying to make sure that doesn't happen.
And he's a proud Brit, despite the weapon not having the best track record.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he's still serving in the British military. What do they call it? The MOD, Ministry of Defense.
James Bond.
So,
that suit looks a little tight on him.
Yeah, he's pretty jacked for sure. Interestingly enough, he had a colleague there who is suspiciously not in camera for certain reasons, but his name was Tom, and he's got his own YouTube channel, and he just does kit reviews and stuff like that. And we got to talking, and it turns out he and I were at the same FOB in Afghanistan at the same time. We were at Leatherneck Bastion in Helmand Province, and I was on the Marine side, and he was on the British side. So I thought that was pretty cool.
And that's the latest right there, like the most modern, right? The A3.
A3. Mhm.
It is. If you guys have messed with those things, they are so heavy. Like holy
Yes.
hell.
Yeah, they are. But I will say, I don't know about the A3, but the A2 that I was messing with and filming, that had probably the best bullpup trigger I have ever handled. It was AR-15-esque. So it's how good it was.
What is the problem? What's the background of these things? What's the hate for them? Reliability?
Not necessarily. A little bit of reliability, but if you're left-handed, you can't shoot it.
Yep, definitely.
And that was one of the things that they told us was that their field manual says if you're left-handed, you're shooting it right-handed. You better figure it out.
Don't.
Yeah. Because that charging handle,
Don't be left-handed.
Stop it.
the charging handle will bash you right in the mouth. You will lose a tooth.
Damn.
So anyway, I just thought it was something that you don't see something like this ever at SHOT Show. At least I haven't. So
And they're in the basement, one of those hidden gems. We all had to find them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
The
that
basement
was
was the best part of SHOT Show this year. Would you guys agree?
Yep.
I didn't get to spend enough time down there. I try getting down there, and I'm always missing something. Like there's so much downstairs.
well. I ended up with a free optic, so I was like, I can't beat that.
You stole it? I know people steal stuff. all the time.
No, I visited the Siley booth while I was trying to find these guys.
Oh, that's right. You do shill for them, so I'd imagine
do.
that one's
I
free.
do.
Checks out.
There actually may be in the future. There may be a paying gig with them. I don't know. We'll have to like a legit paying gig where I'm actually like legit working for them. So
Damn.
You'll have to twist the mustache as you talk turkey with them.
What
Clay,
the
I
hell
got
is that? That's a cat.
Okay, Rodrigo, what's your next booth, dude?
No, I think Steve had a question. What's up,
Oh,
Steve?
No, I was just gonna. Unfortunately, I got to get ready to jump off here already,
Oh,
man.
man.
That's my bad.
All right,
But you
man.
said, is there something? You said you wanted. Was there something we can talk quick about Q? I said you wanted to bring up Q real quick before I jump off.
Let's talk about the Q booth real quick.
Yeah, let's do it.
What was so interesting about it?
Q.
See, no, I mean, I just I like the. I don't know, man. You can say I'm a fanboy, I guess. I kind of just dig their general vibe of how they represent their brand, like the sort of I don't give a crap. You know,
Can't say I like his
like-
look very much. I don't know what's.
yeah, no, yeah. And it was the first time I met Kevin. Cool dude off camera, like he just cool dude. And I was like, hey man, like I want to try to get some footage of the booth. And the other guy, Jordan, I usually talk to, it's in this video. And he's like, hey, let's do it. And he was all about it. He was like happy to get on camera and talk about something. He's like, I'll bring out some stuff from the back that we don't show everybody. And I was like, hey, cool, like awesome. And he brought out some stuff that I guess they're working on and stuff that's not available to the public yet and things. It was just cool to see some of the stuff they've been talking about for a while that's going to come out. And like I said, I just kind of dig how it's like it's either for you or it's not. Like it or you don't, buy it or don't. Like they don't really care. So I just like that sort of mentality that they have. Like just buy it if you like it, sort of thing. So I don't know. I like that whole mindset. I only have one of their guns. It's not like I have a million of their guns or anything, but I've not had a problem with mine, and I've shot it a bunch. I have a honey badger. But I want to get an 8.6. I'd love to get a boombox at some point, even a fix. I don't even do hunting. I don't even hunt, but I think those fixes they make are pretty cool. But this I think this is the boombox SD with some upgraded, heat mitigation Mirage shield thing that he was talking about, kind of final prototype stage, lightweight. I don't know. It was some interesting stuff. They just do interesting stuff. What are your guys' thoughts? I don't know if you all saw the video or anything.
I like the anodizing.
Yeah.
Kind
Kinda
of the way
got
they
that.
look.
Very
They do it
cool.
different. They really do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Honey Badger's awesome. I've always loved that gun. Just never, I don't know, I never paid too much attention to Q other than the Honey Badger. I'll never
No.
forget the FPS Russia video where I first saw it, and then I started seeing it in video games. Yeah, they do really cool stuff. I don't
Well, I
mind Kevin. I know he tries to be inflammatory. And he
Sure,
talks-
sure.
He talks
I think
about
for-
AKs on purpose. And
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I understand that, but I think there's one thing. If none of you guys or anybody that's watching this, if you don't follow their YouTube channel, they just released chapter 2, or like it's like a series of videos of them for the past however many years developing the 8.6 and the boombox and like all the stuff that they went through and all of the testing and everything that went into designing every piece in there to be able to handle all the pressures and all this. It was very interesting stuff, man. Just like everything that went into the 8.6 development and stuff. It's just cool to see kind of behind the scenes, you know what I mean? The peak of how a company or somebody goes through making something new and making it work. I just thought it was interesting.
Well, hell
Anyway.
yeah. I got halfway through it earlier, but I'm gonna finish it.
All right, guys, listen, sorry I gotta kind of like hit and run, but I appreciate everybody. Thanks for having me on here again. Hopefully next time I'll be able to be on the whole time. So
Yeah, dude.
Later,
Steve.
later, Steve.
Take care.
Night, dude.
all right, man.
Later.
See you.
See you guys.
I think Julian, my ex coworker Julian. I think that's the Julian that is. If so, what up, homie? He
Someone
just,
asked if we talked about the FN Scar. I did a full video on it, and I know we joked about it that day too. I was like, talking to those FN guys, they don't care about us. They just, are you military? They
Yeah.
don't care.
Yeah.
where'd you
they-
serve?
Yeah, he just ran through like this. I was like, oh, that's cool. He's like, all right, order 10,000 rifles. All right, thanks.
Biggest bait and switch that I have ever seen.
Oh yeah, wild. Just to get
Yeah.
suppressors allowed on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I agree. They were on my list to go check out. And can I say, like, I feel like James Reeves spoiled a lot of things for us before SHOT Show. Golly.
The whole video came out.
Yeah,
before
like
that.
he had, right before SHOT, like it just took the wind out of my sail.
Are you talking about his OF channel or are you talking about firearms?
firearms? Uh-huh.
Yeah. Anyone on the panel asked Denzel about FRT compatibility? I didn't, and someone would have to get pretty creative to make one work because it's a totally unique, bespoke trigger to that gun. Yeah, what's going on, Julian? My old coworker. He just left to go work for Tesla. So
Oh,
he's in the
nice.
chat.
Cool.
Oh, damn.
We've been in the trenches on many a job, so he knows the deal.
Now he can get blue hair.
Yeah, well, he fit right in at Tesla, dude. He fit right in.
Blue hair, little
Yeah.
Starbies.
Yeah, little
Mhm.
Starry.
You have to be hyper Elon while you work there. Rodrigo, I think it's your turn. What's your next booth?
Oh man, so FN was a disappointment for me, so I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna go with M+M. They have
Yeah.
they've got one of their AKs that they're working on that's gonna take Galil mags.
Was that
And
in
I
your
was
part
like,
one or your part two?
man, that was in part one, I believe. Yeah, I think it was part one.
You said M+M. They make some good candy. I like the little peanut ones.
Yeah. So backstory on those guys is and everybody probably already knows this, but their main engineer dude is he used to work at SIG, like the old SIG, not like the SIG 550 series, right? So their engineer used to work at SIG, and then he went over, and so this thing has more in common with the SIG 550 series than it does with like a traditional AK. I mean, if you look at, I think I have a part in the video behind. You see that guy behind? There's like a little display case behind the dude, and all of the parts kind of look just like the 550. And so they're
Yeah.
making this thing that takes the Galil mags, which
Oh, that's
man,
cool.
Galil mags are plentiful. They're, if they can make this work, this is gonna be awesome.
And they're 35 rounders.
Mhm.
And not only are they
Yes.
plentiful, you can find them for like $10. They're
Yeah.
super cheap.
Yeah.
And
So
if they're not dented, they're reliable, but a lot of them are not.
Mm.
right. So I just thought this was something a little different that you don't see. I don't know if it's when it's gonna come to fruition, but I liked it. I was like, damn, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, M plus Sim's one of those weird ones. Like the design's great. I've shot them; they shoot well. It's got the gas block is basically Sig 550. They've just never really taken off. I feel like they're extremely slept on guns, but I get it. Like aesthetically, not super pleasing to the eyes, which I know shouldn't matter, but it does. Let's not kid ourselves. A gun has to look cool. This gun in 5.56 to me is way more appealing than it has ever been in 7.62 by 3.9.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wish I would have went over there and taken a look at it. Yeah, look, I mean, even the bolt, it looks exactly like a Sig bolt.
Yeah, it's almost exactly what the guy told me. That guy Matthew right there, he said that the engineer wanted to simplify the system just a little bit. For example, on the Sig 550 series, you know how you have to press down with your thumb to take out the charging handle, right?
Yep.
It comes out. Okay, so they made it to where it kind of just snaps in with the detent. So he was just trying to simplify the whole system. And I don't know. I thought it was interesting. So this was one of my spots. I always just try to look for weird stuff to look, something that no one's gonna go check out. So this
How
was one of my
many
spots.
how many chicken nuggies?
Man, these things are only like I would say what less than 2K chicken nuggies.
That's not bad if you're hungry. Yeah, that's not
I
bad.
think they're way cheaper than that. Oh,
Yeah, I think way cheaper.
Maybe 15, 16
Yeah,
most.
They're like that Franken build. It's kind of like you'd have to really reach out to get them. You actually really would want one as a thing. That's Frankenstein. It's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
good news is like they take standard mags. The 7.62 takes AK mags. You don't have to use a weird mag. If this 5.56 comes out, Galil mags are literally everywhere. There's thousands of them, and they're cheap. And you could find 50 rounders for them. Standard
Yeah.
cap 35. And I'm pretty sure the chat will have to let me know. They take standard AK triggers, so you can just drop an ALG in them, which is really cool. So
yeah,
if you can get over the looks, these things can freaking shred. I've seen dudes bring them to KB and just shred. I'm talking shred with them. They can go very fast.
Are they long stroke
yeah.
or short?
Long stroke.
Long stroke. Yeah, it's just like a 550.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just that guy just did it a little different, but so yeah, this was my one of my picks. I don't know, you guys didn't get a chance to go over and check them out.
No, I'll be honest with you. Freaking, I sleep on Eminem, just like Clay was saying. And it's odd because way back in the day when I was doing my live chats, I had Jim Fuller on, and oh man, I can't remember how many times people were asking me about, hey, ask him about the Eminem M10. Is it a good AK? And I finally got to asking him. He was just like, I don't know. I guess.
Yeah. But the majority of people have never seen one in person or shot one.
Yep.
They're just not very common. Battle Bean tips $5 and he asks, do you guys think the MDC 100 series will succeed? Clay, did you ever get a chance to shoot the 101 suppressed? What do you guys think?
MDC is Meridian, right?
Yep, they just launched. They just dropped their
Yeah.
101 and their 103 2 days
I
ago.
mean, based off of what just
They sold
happened with
out.
the 101s, man,
They've already succeeded.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, we tortured a couple of them with a lot of rounds in a day. I shoot a lot of AKs that I only get to shoot for a day and put about the same round count through them that have done way worse. So far, so good. I hope they do well. I really don't see why they wouldn't. Meridian's been building AKs for years.
Yeah.
So AKs are nothing new to them. This isn't like a Black Rain Ordnance that just popped up at SHOT Show that's been making ARs for all this time and just decides to make an AK. That's completely unknown. Meridian started doing kit builds, then they started doing Saiga conversions, then they started doing Gucci kits, and then they started making their own AK. So they literally like did everything the right way getting to this point to build that foundation of an AK builder you can trust, in my opinion. So I really hope they do. And no, I never shot it suppressed.
Just like Bear Creek Arsenal's AK.
Yep, there you go. I had somebody
Isn't that
asking.
crazy?
Yeah,
Crazy.
some people in the chat were asking about it.
Kyle,
Amore.
what was your next booth?
All right, I really like. So every year I go by SDS Arms because they make wacky stuff, right? They started doing high powers a year or two ago, and I did a full video on another high power just because they do make some of the best clone Turkish high powers. And this one is called the 2035. It's kind of like if you think of a 2011 but a high power. And they did a lot of cool stuff to it. The trigger's awesome. How it looks is pretty awesome, honestly. And the price point, for the nuggies wise, I mean, you're looking at 500-600 nuggies for something that's like pretty tricked out, and it just looks nice. And not only that, there's on the left side is the takedown pin / slide release, slide catch, and usually that gets in the way with your thumb if you're kind of holding a high grip. This one, they carved it out so your thumb has a place for it. So it's like fixing a problem the high powers I've always had, at least for me, because I like to have a high grip on there. But felt good. Trigger's cool. You can do a lot of customization to it. And they make pretty good Turkish clones from what I've tested so far.
Did you
That-
say
that's-
500 chicken nuggets?
500 to 600 chicken nuggies
For
Damn,
that?
that's
for
crazy.
like a
That's
tricked out high power. Yeah.
That's pretty
crazy.
cool.
Yeah.
I would love to try though. I
Right?
mean, I love high powers, but a high power is one of those guns that God, they look so sexy, and then you shoot like a standard one, and it's not super impressive.
No.
That looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it does.
People are excited in the comments on my video on that one. I'm
Yeah.
surprised. Yeah.
I will say, very interesting take on how SDS is handling these is I've talked to a couple of different content creators that have looked at that, and they are not initially sending those out to content creators. They're going to fulfill orders first. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool of them.
They've done that a lot to their stuff. Even last year, like some of the stuff they wanted to give out, like I think they had like the MP5s and all that, and they're like, nope, we're not going to send anything out. We're just going to start pumping them out. I'm like, okay.
So
I think the only part. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say I'm going to buy one of those as soon as
Right.
it's available.
The same thing. Just buy it.
Price, yeah, I would. Try that.
Unbiased opinion right here.
Were
Just
those
buy it.
optics cut, Kyle?
Yes. Yeah. For what?
Cool.
Shield?
Yeah, the RMSC footprint.
Because it's real narrow. Yep.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
they'll have plates as well, and that's good. And the sights are nice. They're like 1/3 co-witness or something.
That's kind of cool.
Honestly,
I
it
can't
is.
buy one because I don't speak English.
I see what you did there.
Where the grocery store we stopped at, it was no English.
No English.
Oh, Rodrigo missed the tacos. We went to the taco place that first night.
Oh, tacos El Gordo.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I
man.
did.
I don't know
I
what to
did.
order. Rodrigo wasn't there to tell us.
Right?
I just ate a
You-
bunch of free radishes. It's all. It was free.
Oh
I had
my
my
god.
first Vampiro. I've never had a Vampiro before.
Oh, that was good.
Oh, nice. Those are good. They give you the squirts, but they're good.
Oh man, I had that squirt pill, so I was all right.
Vegas has the nicest bathrooms. That's okay. Let's go to the
I will
win.
say, just real quick, I know that there's been a couple people asking about it, but we kind of already touched on it a little bit. But the Bear Creek Arsenal AKs that they had an AK on display,
Yeah, let's talk
And-
about it.
and
The best quality. You're gonna be so excited. You love it.
man,
Love it.
I'm worried about it.
17,000 chicken nuggies.
Rodrigo, are you going to
Rodrigo.
put out a video?
Did anyone
I
put
already
out a
did.
video on it?
I don't think
I
so.
did. I
You
did.
did?
It's on day 2. My
Okay.
last,
What'd
the
you
last
think?
portion of it
What'd you think?
for the Bear Creek.
Yeah, give us a pitch.
Man, I don't know. I think they didn't really seem too excited to even bust it out. The guy was just like, "Oh, we're gonna bust it out eventually," and then I do think they copied Krebby. So I don't know. It just it looked a little weird, but
it's
I mean,
collector.
So
yeah.
when I was on the phone with Krebs, he said that he was going to contact them and see if they just wanted to purchase some of his safety levers, because they're his safety levers. But the things that concern me is that the only forged component on that rifle is the carrier.
Mm.
The bolt is 9310 tooled machine or milled steel. They're doing a 4150 in-house barrel. Their trunnion is a 4140 milled trunnion, and their price point that they're aiming for is $550 to $600. Now, one of the things that I saw that was pretty disturbing to me when I popped the hood was this is their sample gun. They've shot it a little bit, and obviously people are like racking the bolt and everything on this. The trigger, the hammer was already starting to peen,
Right.
and was always starting to show indentions into it. And I'm like,
That's a prototype, right? I mean,
He says they built like 4. So
okay.
And you know, in his defense, hot take, but I will say the whole time we were there, I remember thinking he didn't overhype this gun at all.
Nope.
I felt like he was just like, yeah, I mean, we're gonna maybe make them. I got 4 that I
Yeah.
built, and
Yeah.
it's gonna be like $500. Like they didn't. I liked that he didn't sit there and try to oversell. Like, oh, we're gonna make the everyday American AK. We're gonna do this. He was just very matter of fact. He says this is just this thing that we're trying. It's gonna be extremely cheap. We'll see. I appreciated that he did not sit there and blow smoke up all of our asses, and he didn't know who any of us were. We were just 4 dudes. So I
Yeah.
thought his attitude about the thing I appreciated when so many other vendors, you know, try this new thing and like we're gonna do what no one else has ever done. He didn't say that at all. He didn't come off that way.
Yeah. And he was the guy when we got there, right? I said, hey, who can talk about this AK on the shelf? And all of those guys in green back there were like, that's the guy right there. That's the
Yep.
guy you need to talk to. And
And
even
then it
he was
disappeared.
like, he didn't know.
You know, it's interesting though, if you think about it, of all the platforms, the AK in that low budget 500 to 600 nuggies, there have been so many models that came and go. They just show up out of nowhere, and there's problems with them, and then
Mhm.
just kind of quietly go away from, you know, Century Arms, from all
IO.
these companies, IO. Like, yeah, it's just I worry that they're just going to throw it together and make a few bucks, and all of a sudden, oh, back to ARs.
Yeah, I think that, and that's one of the things that Clay said to the owner was, you know, we're pulling for you, but if you mess this up, you're going to be stuck with that reputation. So,
Oh yeah. I was like, you ever heard of 4chan? There's a saying, 4chan doesn't forgive and it doesn't forget. That's the AK market. It's the AK market's 4chan.
Let's see.
You screw up
Visca,
you screw up one time and you're done.
Red Army Standard, Visca, like
PSA, Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3, whatever gen they're
PSA.
on.
We're gonna skip right to G5. Yeah.
You know, Pioneer Arms, even though that's an import still, the Riley Defense, even WBP, like, I mean, come on. Like they all have their haters. They've all done somebody dirty. And
Yep.
they've got their haters forever. Okay, well, since we're on that train, I'm gonna skip the booth I was gonna talk about and go right to Black Rain Ordnance. Oh my god, everyone hates that gun.
Mhm.
Read any of the comments on the video.
Yep.
Let me get it pulled up here. I think I've got it pulled up here. Bam, here we go. Okay, so backstory on this thing. We all know does everyone in the chat watch Jeff Gerwich, Modern Tactical Shooting?
Yes.
Awesome YouTube channel. 20 plus years, special forces, like tier 1 guy, just super legit guy, and has an awesome YouTube channel. Really high quality, and he competes with AKs, which is how I found him. I talked to Jeff a lot through DMs. I just really, really respect the guy, and I like him. I even LARPed as Jeff Gerwich at Lethal Weapons one year. Like, I truly do idolize this guy. So anyway, Jeff tells me, hey, man, a buddy of mine is now in charge at Black Rain Ordnance. Jeff's like, I don't know a lot about Black Rain Ordnance. Don't know. I've just been shooting one of their guns recently because a guy I was in the service with for a very long time, is kind of running shit over there right now. And he's asked me to try out their new gas piston AR. So we did. The guy's name is TK. That's who I talked to in this video. Well, he tells me TK has this new AK that Black Rain Ordnance has just come out with. They wanted Jeff Gerwich to be the guy to like go to SHOT Show, look at it, or maybe sample it. Jeff told him, I'm not the guy, but I talk to this dude Clay all the time. Maybe he'll come by the booth and take a look at it. He does AK stuff all the time. That's the whole reason I even found out this gun was a thing. Jeff's like, you'll like my homie TK. He's a legit dude. Spent a lot of time in the service with a guy. You should go talk to him. Bet. Of course. Why wouldn't I? So we go over there and we see this thing. Like, this is like a crazy milled receiver type 3 kind of thing with their own rail that's built into where the sight block would be. The rail's held in with the barrel pin, and it's bolted to the bottom of the receiver. The back of the receiver has a hinge pin, not 4.5, not 5.5. It's a standard proprietary hinge pin that you can use to take like a bunch of different like SIG style stocks. The bolt and carrier, they say he's got a guy that's making them that makes them for other companies. My best bet, it's probably Riley Defense, because Riley OEMs a lot of bolt and carriers for other AK manufacturers. That's probably who is making the bolt and carrier for this thing, if I had to guess. I asked him about the receiver. I'm like, who's making the receiver? He said, well, Black Rain Ordnance made the receiver, but they made them like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So the way he explains it, he comes to he finds all these receivers and he's like, what are we doing with these? And they're like, we made those a long time ago. Don't know why. So he decided, can we do something with them? Let's produce full-on rifles out of them. So they pulled them off the shelf, figured out this ambi safety. They dropped CMC triggers in them. They apparently worked a lot with Dissident Arms, Mike and Lan, that know AKs. They consulted with Krebs. They consulted with Rifle Dynamics. They ended up using a Krebs safety. They ended up using Rifle Dynamics gas block. And apparently this guy knows Mike really well at Dissident, who helped them, kind of coached them on how to put these things together the right way. That's what made my ears perk up. I know everyone hates this gun because it's expensive and everyone hates Black Rain Ordnance. I understand. But it's just interesting that they consulted with 3 names in the industry that do very well in the world of AKs. Some of the best. Dissident, Krebs, RD, some would argue 3 of the best companies doing aftermarket AK stuff. So take that for what it is. Yeah, it's got a big gross logo on the side, but I don't know, man. After handling it, I didn't hate this thing. It handled really well. I know people don't like the way that rail looks, but holding it in my hands, pointing it, running around their booth with it, it honestly handled pretty well. And I'll be honest, dudes, before this, I couldn't have told you anything about Black. I do not pay attention to AR markings. I don't know anything about Black Rain Ordnance. Nothing. I know now they are a bottom tier AR brand. My comments really lit a fire under my ass now. So I understand why people hate this gun. And I understand why they have zero confidence in it. I get it. But it was so out of left field. And I thought, man, super bold design choices. Tunable gas block right out of the box. Really nice trigger right out of the box. And the rail felt good. Interesting way to couple the rail to the receiver by getting rid of the sight block. Pretty interesting. Kind of like what Occam is doing. It's virtually mounting the same way that Occam is mounting. You could say this rail is totally free float. Anyway, I digress, but this was totally out of left field. Love it or hate it. Crazy that Black Rain Ordnance is making that thing. So one of my favorite booths that I visited because it was so out of left field. I think you guys visited as well.
I stopped by on Friday and just did a quick video with them. I haven't posted it yet, but you know what's weird is, first off, the receiver is chunky. It just feels chunky, right? And then also he said the reason why they had so many receivers was the first time they tried building these things years ago, it was like over 10 pounds. Like they're like, we didn't have the manufacturing capacity or the technology maybe at the time, because M-Lock hasn't been around that long. Yeah, technology. And they just have it. They need to thin it down, like slim it down, get everything a little bit thinner, and it's still pretty chunky, but a lot lighter than 15 pounds or whatever.
Yeah. I've been running my milled K101 at competitions for so long. My milled K101 opened my eyes that milled Type 3 style AKs make fantastic competition guns. They're heavier, but it changes the whole balance of the gun and
Yep.
moves all the weight back, which AKs are front heavy with stamped receivers. At a competition, milled AKs like Galil's crush. The balance is amazing for competition shooting. So again, I don't hate this gun. Now, I know people hate the company, but I wouldn't mind getting my hand on one of these just to try it to see what it's like. The chat can tell me if you guys would like to see that. I know for a fact they want me to try one of these. So without coming off like a shill, because I don't want this gun in my collection, but I want to get it on camera to see if a company like Black Rain Ordnance can make a freaking AK. If you guys want to see that, I'll tell them, yes, send it, and we'll dump many hundreds of rounds through it.
What's interesting is I have barely heard of them before, except for this AK that came out, and they had a massive booth with the biggest like living open space in the middle.
Yeah.
And it just don't have a lot there, and I was like, what is this company?
And they're right next door to me. They're in southern Missouri. So you know, I probably could swing over there if I needed to, but I think one of the common things I'm seeing not only in the chat but also in your video is price point. It's just you know, you're not expecting that high of a price for something like this, you know.
Someone nailed it here. Wyoming Gun Project. At the price, you're talking Krebs M23. And without a doubt, if these two guns were sitting on a table, knowing what I know about the M23, without a question, the M23 is money much more well spent from Krebs. It's literally got Krebs stamped on the side. It's always going to be a very valuable gun. So the chips are definitely stacked against it. But then again, it's like, can a company make a milled receiver AK with tunable gas and a combo block, design their own rail, install it? They're making their own barrels, by the way. They're turning them from blanks. CMC trigger the whole thing. Can an American brand even make that for less than 25 chicken nuggets? 2,500 chicken nuggets? Like, I don't think so. I'm not justifying the price, but AKs are very expensive to build. I don't know if it can be built cheaper. I just don't know. I'm naive. But I feel like it would be difficult to do that. I mean, shit, Arsenals are coming in at like $2,200 these days for bare bones Sam 7s, and that's just all importation crap.
Yep. And
I don't know.
And then how much is it going to cost you to upgrade that Arsenal to have an adjustable gas block? You know,
which most of them need.
Yeah, really. I mean, sure, you can put a KNS in it. I suppose. I mean, that'd probably be the cheapest route to go, but
yeah, Unit 28 makes a good point. So he's saying you could get the Torque Type 3 receiver and a milled kit all in for $1,000. I might have to do a little research on that. That just sounds cheap. Could be. Then over it takes to have someone put it together. Maybe you're in like 1,500-1,600 for a stock-ish AK. So yeah, I mean, cost is relative. Who knows what it cost them to put that together? They're pretty bold with the rail and everything else. I'm sure that cost money, but I'd love to get one and film one because that video would get views because people are going to hate watch it. And maybe best case scenario, it crashes and burns on camera, and then you get a ton of views. If it does well, then everyone just gets to call me a shill again, which ain't nothing new. So it's good no matter what. That's a great gun to film.
What did Arsenal have this year? Did you guys? I saw the booth. Didn't go really near it. I saw a few people asking about that.
They have higher prices.
Oh, nice. Oh, good. Okay. That helps.
And it's once they sell through the batch that they currently have, the prices are going to get even worse.
Yep.
Wow.
Because it's another 35%.
Yeah, Rodrigo's got a lot of coverage on it, but I mean, it's all the Sam 7Ks, all the milled crinks. They have a bunch of the Sam 5 12-inch barrels that they're trying to bring in the country as factory SBRs. Cool, but very expensive.
They had another 5.56 one, a shorty that they're trying to work on. It's in my video. So it's like
they're trying to bring the factory. Yeah, they're trying to bring the factory 12-inch barrels in.
Yeah, that thing would be sick, dude. I was like, damn, that would be worth it.
Now I know the chat has been dying, but someone's got to bring up Roswell Rifle Works.
Well, whose turn is it? I think it's yours, brother.
Mark's turn.
Oh, it's Mark's turn.
Whichever
No,
side he's on.
no, it's Clay's, man. It's
Clay
Clay.
just went.
Back to
just
Clay.
went. It's Mark's
Hey,
turn.
we've been saving that one for you, bro.
I don't know. Should we talk about the discussion that you had right before you went to Roswell?
Oh yeah, Mr. Plinkify.
Oh, man.
We all
Okay.
ran into the Mr.
So before we get into Roswell, and everyone will talk about it, and we're getting close to our 2-hour mark, I'm balls deep in my interview. Rachel's filming me, and I'm talking with the dudes about the SR3. And I look up and I see Mr. Easy standing right there in front of me. And I'm like, oh my, is this Alex? And I'm like, it catches me off guard. And he's like just staring. He's like 2 feet away at their booth staring at me. And I'm like, so I'm trying to get through the interview and the dude's just staring. And I'm like, oh my God. So we get through it. I come around the table and he's like on me, but I'm talking to someone else. So he's hovering. And one of you two were standing right there. I think all you guys were around at the time, but as soon as I disengage with all the dudes from Roswell, he's right there. And he's like, Clay, holds out his hand. I'm like, hey, Alex. He says, first of all, no hard feelings. I'm like, all right. He says, second of all, I want to show you my new trigger. This time I paid for it, so no one can steal my design. I'm like, okay, Alex, let me see your new trigger. So Alex was going around all of SHOT Show saying that he now has a drop-in 3-position FRT. Doesn't matter what AK you have, it's drop-in, no tuning required, which is complete BS. That trigger does not exist. There is no drop-in trigger that will work on any AK you have that's FRT that does not take a massive amount of tuning. It does not exist. So he pulls out this cassette trigger out of his pouch. He says, there you go. That's my design. No one's stealing that design. What do you think? And I'm like, I wish you luck in all of your endeavors, my man. He said, well, hold on. I was hoping maybe I could get into KB this year. I said, we still got tickets for sale. He goes, no, I was hoping like as a vendor. And I was like, we're full, dude. We're booked up. And he goes, all right, well, if anyone, backs out, I'm like, all right, Alex, well, you know what? Hey, enjoy the rest of your SHOT Show. And that's just how we ended it. And that guy went around with that trigger and was selling it to everyone. Hey, drop in 3-position, no tuning needed. And he's probably watching this live stream eventually. So, yeah, that was my Alex encounter. Still doing his thing, man. Hustling.
Well, Kyle ran into him the day before. And, well, you can say it. You can tell your story, Kyle.
I know this drama, but I had no idea what was going on. I had no idea who this guy was. All I saw was Plinkify on his badge, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. I think I've heard rumors about that. Not much, though. And so I was just walking in the basement, which, as one does, and there's like people hiding in the shadows, just kind of waiting to grab you in down there. And one of them was this guy, Alex. And I was like, he's like, oh, we got some comfy couches over here. I was like, all right, as long as it's not a van, I'll go over to the couch. And I go over to the couch and he just sits me down. He sits me down and he's like, let me show you a drop-in FRT for the AK. Works in every AK. And he pulls out his little pouch, little cassette there with nothing, no springs or anything in there. And I was like, oh, that's cool. He's like, what would you do with this? And I was like, I don't know. Put it in something. He was like, well, I think you could put it in any AK. And I was like, we just had this conversation the night before with all you guys. And you're like, talk about how it is tuning every single AK. And then when he said that it works in the Baril with some work, and I was like, all right, I don't really have anything I want to put this in. He's like, oh, just buy a cheap PSA one and burn it down. I'm like, what? What am I going to do with this? It's interesting. And then I heard the next night, I told you guys that story, and Marcus was busting out laughing. He was like, oh, Alex. And because I mentioned your guys' name, I was like, oh, I'm here with Clay and Mark and them. He's like, oh, yeah. He's like, oh, yeah. So he said, don't tell them about us talking.
Yeah, that was the funny part.
My first reaction was like, why? I mean,
yeah. Don't listen to them. Don't worry about it.
Stenzel FRTs, hopefully. Haven't heard anything. Yeah. So that happens at the booth that kind of stole the show at SHOT Show. It's this company. I've got his card here. I'm going to hide his info. Roswell Rifle Works.
Never heard of them before. Yep.
Never heard of them before. So they were at a really cool booth. They were sharing a booth with like 3 brands. And let me just pull that friggin' video up here. SR3M. They had reached out like 2 weeks before SHOT Show asking if I was going. I said, yeah. They told me about this clone that they're doing. I know the Russians were very upset because they're stealing intellectual properties. And they were like, sue us. You can't. Sorry. Yeah. This thing was the talk of SHOT Show. And maybe not everyone there's into comm block stuff, but even if you weren't into comm block stuff, you heard about this gun. It had so much buzz around it. The booth was always a madhouse. Every YouTuber I can possibly think of made time to go look at this thing. Real quick, all this is, it's in the family of like the VSS, the AS Val, the Ventores. The receiver's virtually the same. It's 9x39. This is a later variant that is not integrally suppressed. So that is the integrally suppressed AS Val version that this came after. What's cool about this is you're not married to a suppressor. It's tuned so that it will shoot without the added back pressure that the older models needed to shoot. So you can put any kind of can you want on it. They're threading them 14x1. So that's Micah's Tisha. It'll take a Wolverine. It'll take a Putnik. It'll take a Zvuk. Any traditional can, anything that can be adapted to 14x1, you can suppress it with anything. As long as it has at least like a 10 millimeter hull, because this is 9x39. So you can't just put a 30 cal can on it. To put things into perspective, I don't know of any SR3M kit that exists in this country. There might be one, but as far as one that exists, I don't know of. Certainly, I don't think one's ever been put together. There are Vals, there are VSSs, there are older Ventores kits. I think Brandon's is a Ventores with the thumb hole wooden stock. John has one of possibly 3 of the AS Vals at his shop. That was the picture that you just saw. That gun is worth about 80,000 chicken nuggets. That's what those are worth in kit form. Assembled kit. Yeah. So these guys are creating a model that is even more rare than that. That is chambered in the original caliber. They're making the 9x39 for 80 cents a round. And they have a more expensive, heavier pill, but their standard one's 80 cents a round.
They have a lot of it.
Yeah,
a lot of it.
Yeah.
400,000 rounds in a Connex waiting to go.
And these guys actually have history. These guys, back when 9x39 came in, 5-6 years ago, when it was everywhere for that brief period in time, these dudes were manufacturing ammo. They were making 9x39 AR-15 uppers. They were doing a lot with 9x39. So they like really understand the caliber. Fast forward, they, in about 15 months, have what you have here, an almost complete clone. And it's like 1-to-1 correct. It's like 99% there, minus the handguard having some M-lock slots in it. But it's freaking close. Even Ian, Forgotten Weapons, comes by, and we all remember what happened when Ian went to the ASFL last year. He had his thoughts. He asked the gentleman, hey, are you going to be stamping the dust cover? How do you plan on doing that? And he was asking a lot of questions that seemed in his mind to believe that this company was never going to create the ASVAL. Like he was in over his head. That's kind of what Ian had come up with. He didn't say that about these guys. And I think everyone that went there had the same feeling. Like these dudes seemed legit. Like this is really going to happen. The price, they have a pistol version that he's holding there on the left that would just have like 1913 in the rear. And you wouldn't have the forward grip, but you could buy it later. It was like 3,500 chicken nuggets. Factory SBR that you see on the right, he was saying 45-ish 100 chicken nuggets. And they're recreating the magazines, which are unobtainium. So, and they're only going to make like 100 total, I believe is what they said, maybe 50 pistols, 50 SBRs. So if this thing comes out and it's good, and you have one of those 100, this will probably be one of those guns in 20 years that you'll see pop up on Gunbroker for what, 25, 30,000 chicken nuggets, maybe. There have been like some really rare, like semi-auto RPDs that Voltor has sold, some semi-auto PKMs that Voltor has sold that were really expensive at the time that have now doubled in price because they only did it like once, you know? I think this could be that. Internally, there were some guys that reached out to me. Volk. You guys follow the Volk YouTube channel. He's got the skull tattoos and all the Russian banditti tattoos. So he's been to Russia. He's got dual citizenship, and he shot several of these. He came over and handled it, and he says, man, feels exactly the same, looks the same, internally feels the same. The trigger feels exactly the same. It feels and looks so similar to a real one that he spent real time with. It was kind of cool hearing a guy say that. John at M13 comes by. John is one of the only gunsmiths in America that has actually assembled a real AS Val kit a couple of times. So he's rewelded these receivers. John knows these receivers inside and out. They had a couple of receivers there in the white on the table, and John's looking at it going, oh my God, I could use this right now to finish VSS and AS Val kits. It's that close. He's like, screw trying to rebuild chopped up VSS receivers. I need this. If they'll sell these separately, I can make some dudes' literal dreams come true that have VSS kits and the back of the receiver so obliterated, I can't fix them. He has to completely rebuild the rear end from scratch. So hearing John say that, I was like, wow, dude, this thing sounds super legit. Like just hearing dudes that know what they're talking about, so hyped up about it, that saw it there, pretty cool.
And they had 3D printed mags, maybe some 3D printed parts for the prototypes, but they did say that along with the ammo they're manufacturing, they have a collection of the original mags, which, as you said, they're unobtainium. They're like, we have probably the most in the US right now for testing.
Yeah, see, I didn't even hear him say that. That's cool.
Yeah.
It was really cool to see the owner of Roswell and John just stand there and go back and forth, you know, and just chat about what they were doing and what John was doing. And this is what I had to do. I would chop this and this is this and that. And I was like, I don't even know what they're talking about, but this is really cool to see them.
And so, boys, like, you know what's crazy? The day after we finger bang this thing for a while, I go to John's shop and I get to play with this, a real deal, complete AS Val. And man, you could have sat this on the table next to that gun at SHOT Show and move them around. Like, you know how the guy, like, he's like, find the ball with the cups and moves it around the table. Like, if you would have gone receiver to receiver, God, it was the same, man. It looked and felt exactly the same. And what was really cool, their dust cover, I know the big thing last year with the AS Val was the guy was saying, we're going to start stamping dust covers. To have a stamping setup is like $100,000 to start producing that stamped part. So what these guys were doing, they're actually milling the top cover so thin and coating it. It looked stamped. It felt stamped. It was as lightweight as a stamping. It looked perfect, and they're milling it at a fraction of the cost what it would be to actually stamp that top cover.
Impressive.
Which was the big holdup with Bryce's AS Vals last year, like that damn top cover. That was like the one thing that was really throwing everyone off, going, dude, he's never going to make these things. These guys have a really good looking top cover that you could have told me was stamped. I mean, did it not look stamped when you guys hold it? Like it was perfect.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I wouldn't have known the difference until they flipped it over and started showing me the machine marks. And I was like, oh, okay. Interesting. Cool.
Yeah. Cheaper to mill it than stamp it, without a doubt. Much cheaper.
For that small amount.
Yes.
For sure. I mean, yeah.
They're only making 100 of these. Because I asked them specifically, I was like, milling versus stamp. He goes, dude, we're going to make 100. For us to have an actual stamping made to make that top cover, we'd have to sell X amount of guns to ever make money just from stamping that part. So 100 of them, milling the top cover, that was a cost-effective way to get it done.
You'd have to be Kalash off.
Let me interject here. I reached out to Roswell today because, you know, I'm tricky, right? And I talked to Gabe at Roswell, and he said, yes, they're making 50 to 100, but that's just their first batch. If it goes good, they're going to make more.
Good.
So I got that I got a conversation going with Gabe over at Roswell.
That's good.
So I was like, that's good. Because if it was just 100, dude, they'd be on Gun Broker as soon as they sold.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, what do you think, chat? Like that factory SBR, they said is going to be just shy of 4,500 chicken nuggets now, and that is a lot of money for any firearm. But I mean, hell, a Stenzel is about that cost.
Mm-hmm.
Those Hungarian SVDs that came in were like 7,500 chicken nuggets. I mean, this rare and obscure com block stuff, even if it's imported, it's holy crap expensive. So for this type of stuff, dudes, there's no way we're gonna have anything like this that's financially attainable for anything less than what people are charging for it. So
Are they still making the real thing in Russia?
it's a good question. I don't know. So he said this variant, would have come out around 91 to his knowledge. I don't know everything about every Russian gun ever made, so I'm taking what he says as gospel. But he said this variant would have come about in the early 90s. At 91, it would have been shortly after the wall fell that this thing was developed. Someone said no longer produced.
It's like the Bison.
Right. Yep.
But it was like a personal defense weapon. I mean, it's the 300 blackout of Russia, right?
Pretty much.
But better.
But better.
Or as Steve would perk up, the 8.6 blackout of Russia.
Yeah, so it just this was the one thing that made this SHOT Show very interesting to me, with so much of the other kind of like vaporware bummers and letdowns, and like so much wind was out of everyone's sails. This thing was extremely interesting and really captivated everyone at SHOT Show. Everyone was talking about it. So the pressure is definitely on them. It's like Tupac said, "All eyes on me." That's probably how they're feeling right now.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of pressure to do well.
What's funny is Google is saying that the AS Val might be out of production, but they have a bunch of kits over there that they actually ramped up production again in 2018 to build their own kits, modernizing them for the Russian Spetsnaz, FSB, and MVD units. Interesting.
Thanks, Grok.
Yeah, I mean, they might have to, it being wartime at all, just start putting a bunch of old kits together.
Yeah.
I mean, they it was what, 2 years ago. There's some pictures that dropped out of Ukraine that a Russian soldier was killed, and he had a AS Val or a VSS, one of the two.
Yeah, they kept that as a war trophy, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Hanging on the mantle somewhere.
I just like that everybody else had this review before James Reeve came back and did one on it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Like, he was like, someone told him, he was like, "Oh shit, did you see that thing downstairs?" And he's like, "I couldn't spoil that one."
Yeah.
And he ran down there.
Mm-hmm.
That dude was on a freaking mission making videos this year.
Well, he had a
was.
team. I talked to Adam from TFB TV, and he said that their team was estimated to do 100 videos in 4 days. So that's crazy. But I will tell you that I ended up with a comment on one of my SHOT Show videos that just it just really hit me, in the heart, that someone said that I was doing better coverage than TFB TV, and I was like, damn. I didn't even do hardly any videos. I did like 6, I think.
We're like one-man shows here. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my burner account. I just wanted you to feel good.
Oh, thanks,
Oh,
buddy.
damn.
I appreciate you.
No, so I think this thing did steal the show for SHOT Show this year. But
I think so.
man,
Yeah.
I wanted to touch base real quick on the damn Stenzel 5.56. Oh
Yes, thank
my
you.
god. That thing was so sick, man. I was like, oh, why? And then they made it in OD green with bronze. I'm about to bust right now, guys.
Well, it I will tell you that just to be a spoiler type of guy, that 5.56 was just a mock-up because it had a 7.62 barrel on it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was not a 5.56. They had a 5.56 mag in it.
Mm-hmm. But it's just them saying, "Hey, this is our next project." So
Yeah, and I think they said they were gonna try to bring it to Shot. So, or sorry, to Kalash Bash. So, there's that.
If I can talk it, well, I doubt it will be done by that time, but maybe I can talk that into being the giveaway gun.
ooh.
There's
Oh,
gonna be another SAK 21 on the table. We just got to figure out which one. I'm like, it's got to be a
Man.
green one,
It's got to be a green one.
and if it's 5.56, hell yeah! But I would love to do the super short little 7-inch green one, but all the gold parts. I think that would be just a super sick looking gun.
Yeah,
And
that
they
thing
also
was
said they're going to make
badass.
some 16-inch barreled 5.56s, so you don't have to buy it as a pistol. Finally, like that's going to be kind of cool. Kind of cool. And dude, they won that award from Recoil. Recoil magazine gave them an award for the best carbine at SHOT Show for 2026.
wow.
Crazy that Recoil even has like heard of this thing, because the Stenzel has not really gotten around all that much. Yeah, Grantham did a video on it, and I've done a couple. But in the grand scheme of things, this gun has not gotten around much.
Yeah. No, that thing
Yeah.
was sick. I know it was just a prototype, but it was sick as hell.
Yeah. And it was cool. I've never really heard Joe's full backstory like he was telling it. If you did an interview with him, he would really go into detail, but it's kind of one of those like American dream stories. Like, dude goes to the military, really enjoys 7.62 for a very interesting, unique reason, comes back, decides he's going to make a ground up gun specifically for 7.62 because in his mind, while he was over there, it was like the best 0 to 300 yard cartridge, like intermediate cartridge. He just fell in love with it and makes this damn thing. And Stenzel's only like 4 or 5 people.
Mm-hmm.
Over like 5 years, they came up with that thing. Like, it's like Joe and his wife and 3 other people
Wow.
that designed that gun in like 5 years. So, and here they are at SHOT Show winning major awards from Recoil magazine. Just whether you can afford this gun, can't afford it, like it, don't like it, it's a cool story, I think.
It's almost like the story of how Accuracy International came about. Just 3 dudes in a garage ends up with a government contract.
It's kind of cool, man. It's got
Yeah.
man, it's cool to root for the little guy. The little guy makes a very expensive gun, but it's cool to. It's just so easy to get behind a company like that. Just small mom and pop shop, for like lack of a better term. That's kind of what it is. They just happen to make a very Gucci gun.
What's that? What was the caliber on this one that you're showing right here? Clay? Was it 6.5?
6.5 Grendel.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
People got
Man,
more excited about that on my video than the 5.56.
Yeah, dude, that black one looks black one.
That one.
That one, it looks really good too, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It does, yeah.
it looks cool.
It's freaking murdered
Yeah.
out, man.
Yeah.
It's murdered out.
When's
Shit.
PSA going to clone it?
Oh, dude. Speaking of that, PSA just totally ripped off Flux this year. Like, without a doubt, ripped off Flux.
Yep.
And the Flux guys I know went over there. They were like, hey,
Mhm.
what the hell, man? Like, they even went over there and like confronted PSA about it.
Yep.
Could have licensed it, man.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't know that was an option.
Yeah. No, but
Yeah.
isn't that PSA's MO? They just make cheap copies of stuff.
Kind of. I mean,
Yeah. Everything they make is a copy of something else. I don't think they have any like actual innovation.
Maybe we
Right.
got it wrong. 6mm arc. Maybe it was it 6mm arc that he was hyping up? I could have swore he said Grendel. Anywho, it's something 6-ish millimeter.
Yeah.
Some long range caliber. He was, I was watching some of the classic firearms footage. God, they put out a bunch of SHOT Show content, and they were doing. It was Industry Day, which is the shooting day, day 1, and they went to the Stenzel live fire booth, and the guy was geeking about it. At the end of the video, they all kind of said, all right, what was the coolest thing you shot? And he's like, dude, out of everything I shot today, that SAK-21 was awesome. And man, like, it's just one of those guns that when you see it, it looks heavy as shit. It looks blocky. Some people think it's super ugly. I get it. But when you shoot it, man, it shoots really well. In my experience, it shoots really well. And it was interesting hearing him say, yeah, out of everything here, that was my pick. That was the coolest, nicest thing I shot today. So I'm just happy to see that company's getting their flowers, man. It's just pretty cool to see.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that you were the fact that you were able to take it to a competition and then come in first place. I mean, that right there just says volumes about it.
When it felt slow, it felt slow all day, and it just put up good numbers. Rodrigo saw, I mean, every 2 seconds he was like, God damn.
I was like, there's no way this dude is podium, and he's had like 37 jams and still got first place.
Jams. Yeah.
Imagine if he didn't get any jams, he would have been like first overall.
Yeah, son of a beach ass, that damn Igman ammo, dude.
Yeah, that Eggman ammo got you.
Yeah, well, those are all the booths that I had notes on. If anyone else had a booth they wanted to touch on before we start going to the comments section. If you guys have questions, we'll take a few minutes to answer them before we get out of here. But any other cool booths that we're missing?
My most popular video this year, surprisingly, was Mossberg. I guess they didn't get a lot of coverage. I don't know, but I've always enjoyed Mossberg shotguns. But their 590 RM, which is like the mag-fed side folding stock SBR or SBS, that was a contract for, I think, the British military, and they're now making it for us peasants. So
I don't see your Mossberg video. I see the PSA booth went crazy.
yeah,
here it is. Got it.
Oh, it went
damn,
way
no.
crazy. Way crazy.
Yeah, 250,000 views. Wow. Let me pull that up real quick.
Yeah, Mossberg did, and then the 990, which I kind of want to get in. It's going after the Beretta 1301, and it might be cheaper. So,
how did you get to all these damn booths, Kyle? Dang.
I ran around. I don't know. All from the morning cheap free breakfast in the media room all the way to dinner, just running around talking to people.
Hey, look, it's Marty.
Yeah, Kyle was a madman.
I know. Shit.
I want to see what's new. I'm excited.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mossberg's pretty cool. They had a lot of cool stuff. They're very focused on short barreled, obviously. Kind of like the talk of the town.
Yeah, dude, no tax stamp.
Mm-hmm. But that was that was a cool one. I don't know if I'd want it, but it had like a thumb safety and everything. I mean, that's a cool. I don't know if it was for sale yet before this. It's neat.
Yeah.
Waiting on that ruling. Waiting on January.
Right.
Yeah.
Man,
all right.
I will say that like this is only my second SHOT Show, but man, this one compared to the last one, man, I was like, this one was a little of a letdown for me, you know, as far as like innovation.
I feel the same way.
Yeah.
You know, and only because I've only been to 2, right? Like you guys have been to like 5 or 6. So this is probably, it's kind of like the stock market, right? It goes up and then it goes down. So you guys are probably, you already know about the dips. Like, man,
it's innovation is down. I mean, sales are down, so innovation might be down.
Yeah.
Not a lot of chicken nuggets going around. So I think the Derringers, though, someone mentioned that the Bond Arms Derringers, the suppressed ones. I mean, it's kind of fun. It's cool. I did a video on it. Their lever gun, though, that might be vaporware. I don't know. They announced that lever gun, 3 years ago? And it was back in the peak of lever guns, and now it's like, it was chunky, it was clunky, and I was like, is this ever coming out? And now people are like, do I want to spend 2,000 nuggies on that? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, in the chat, somebody, Lord of War 2006, Steve MP5 has a video on that Turkish SPS 12. You can go check it out.
He talked about that earlier. Yep.
Yeah.
I see a lot of like 3 people have asked if I've seen the NL 545. I just looked it up. It's like a AR that takes 545 AK mags. Is this like made in Russia or is it made here? It says it's a Russian AR-15. Of course, it's made over there. They can use their stuff, but people are saying bring that to the States. Why? No one will buy that.
Why?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
Ammo's
neat, though. Hey,
The
speaking of
ammo
that,
alone, yeah.
Jerry is in the chat. He actually I don't know if I can say this on YouTube. He had a PSA. What's the PSA lower that takes AK mags? What do they call that?
The KS-47.
KS-47. He
Yeah.
actually made a KS-47 take 545 mags and found some old 545 upper from back when 545 was around and everyone was making uppers. And actually made a video on it. It's a 545 AR that takes AK-74 mags, made by Jerry, the guy moderating the chat, made it himself. It was super cool.
Yeah. Hey, Wyoming Gun Project said if anyone saw the English, and so Gear Know How has a video on that
Yeah, we
one.
talked about that.
Wyoming.
Yep. He did a video on it too, Matt. Yeah.
Yeah.
He did a video on it. I did see someone ask about the grot. I went over to the Arms of America booth and talked to Andrew, and he did I was flying solo, so I was just like, "Hey, I'm going to turn on the camera and you just go." And he's a little awkward, but I was kind of coaching him through it a little bit as best I could. I thought it was pretty interesting. I'd never really seen one. I think I looked at it in passing last year or maybe 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. And I thought it was pretty cool because it has the ability to eject the casings from either side. So it is completely 100% fully ambidextrous.
And dual charging handles, slanted up top.
Mm-hmm. So the downside to it is the price on it is going to be a little high.
Yeah, I sure thought it was going to be cheaper. I don't know why. I just thought surely this is going to be cheaper.
But I think
Didn't he say in your video that they were going to make a small batch of barils here soon? Maybe.
Yeah, they're coming again more.
Yep. Yeah.
But like once, maybe one time again.
Summer.
No, I think so that's what he said. But in our conversations off camera, they're going to batch them like once a year and then bring them in because they have to basically tool down the grot and then tool back up the brill or the barrel. I know.
Barrel.
So they have to constantly tool down and tool up for both of those firearms, and it's difficult for them to do that. But the mini barrel, they said that they would be bringing back as well, but in batches as well. So
get them shits.
Yeah, we talked about the grot, the price point. Yeah, it's high. I was thinking more 2,000 nuggies or something like that. But I think Mark, you're about to mention it too. I talked to Andrew there and he was like, yeah, but listen, the Polish military have done these comm block weapons forever. So to tool up to do this unique one-off thing for the entire military, their cost is like 2,000 nuggets a rifle. So it's a very modern rifle, kind of more approaching like a Bren 3 or something kind of rifle, right? So that's the cost for them to make it. So it's just getting passed that way to us, I guess. And it's still cool we get to have it.
Everyone keeps saying, justify our Meridian purchases. I think you did good. Just shoot the damn thing whenever you get it.
Yep.
Did anyone go to the AVN booth? I don't think so.
Nope.
That happened a little later in the week.
World of Concrete, yes, for sure.
Yeah. Was it a World of Concrete guy that got stabbed at the Circle Bar?
I heard about
Allegedly.
that. That's the rumor, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, someone got stabbed.
A weird story, yeah.
All the YouTubers. And the dude that's making the weird BNT conversion thing that takes PPSH drums, the guy that like put the tourniquet on the guy at the Circle Bar, just crazy. Like life is
Novak. I think it's Novak or something like that.
We live in a simulation for SHOT Show.
All right, let me try to get to more of these questions. The suppressed Derringer, yeah, that was neat. I didn't cover it. I think Kyle, you have a video on it.
Yep, I got a video on it.
No.
When he went deep. He was realism on it. It was nice though. It was just to go real about it. Yeah.
Utilize wipes to make it super quiet with such a small can.
I think Firearm Freedom also did a video pretty in depth.
Yep,
he did. Yeah, I think he was the first one.
Yeah,
but it's a Derringer. It's 2-shot. I mean, the wipes are going to last a long time, so it's not that pleasant to shoot anyway. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times are you going to brain somebody with that gun? Once, maybe? Let's see here. Ruger had some SBR offerings. Rodrigo, did you go by the Torta booth?
Oh yeah, I did. I'm still taking penicillin.
Thoughts on the Turkish Spaz 12? I didn't go look at it.
Man, the Spaz 12 doesn't run good by itself. I worry about a Turkish clone the more I think about it.
Well, it's basically a M4 clone with Spaz 12 furniture.
Ah, okay. Well, maybe it'll run better because
Mhm.
the Spaz 12's a big piece of shit.
It's
Yeah,
actually a 22 long rifle.
I know, right?
Yeah.
$300. 300 nuggies.
Let some companies actually wait till KB.
Oh, Ruger, you know how they did the whole Anderson thing? They relaunched Anderson with their new roll mark for whatever the hell that new thing. It's like Heritage or something. But it's yeah, they have a new brand. They have a new internal brand for everything Anderson now. It's like the low budget rifle.
Yeah, that's like $600 now.
Yep. Yep.
What was everyone's favorite handgun from SHOT? I completely freaking forgot to go to the booth, but it was now that Steyr is importing the Eric's pistols.
Nothing, the same thing.
I've shot an Eric's Alpha that Kavar used to import for years as my go-to competition gun. I saw the new, like, latest model at Iwa last year on videos, and I'm like, oh my God, how do we get that? And now Steyr is bringing them in. They're expensive, but I'm telling you, if it's anything like the Eric's that I've been shooting, that has been the most freaking flawless, zero malfunction, sweet shooting pistol I've ever owned. That was my favorite pistol from SHOT Show.
I did a video on it. The ATD and ATC, I think. Yeah. They're very nice.
I think the most innovative product outside of Roswell's, firearm is what do they call it? The Dragon or whatever, the competition to the Alien pistol.
Extreme high low bore axis. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's $6,000 to get one, but I saw a video today. I think it was a short on how they disassemble it, and it's like the disassembly is like it just falls apart. Not falls apart, but everything comes out of it, and it's like really modular. It seemed like so. Low bore axis, really cool. Like the idea, really hate the price. So,
Hell yeah. Pioneer Arms, I think we all spent some time with Graham. They had their new short pistol. Looks kind of, it's like micro Draco sized. Kind of looks like a micro Draco.
the Hell Pup.
The Hell Pup. Graham's very, very proud of that gun, and I really hope it works out. I really want Pioneer Arms to succeed because it's an actual import. It's not FB, it's not WBP, but it's still an import. And it seems like their 7.62 guns run perfectly fine. He said something interesting about the 5.56s. He said if it were up to him, they completely stop selling the 5.56 guns completely. The reason being, he said, do you know we sell 200 7.62 guns for every one 5.56 Pioneer Arms that we sell? I'm like, it's like that. He goes, swear to God, we sell 1 in 200. He says, so think about it. Pioneer Arms, our reputation keeps getting tanked by these 5.56 AKs because there is a firing pin issue, which we're hoping to resolve, among other things. So this one gun that there are like no true data packs out there on, everyone did their own thing, seems to be just killing our reputation when we're having like no issues with our 7.62 guns. He's like, dude, if it were up to me, we wouldn't even sell the 5.56 variant. I said, wow, I had no idea the 7.62 guns outsold it like that. He goes 200 to 1, easy. He says, we have boxes of 5.56s up on the shelf that collect dust by the time they get sold. And he says, and those are the ones that people buy and have the issues with. And he's like, it's not even close to our bread and butter gun. I said, well, yeah, that's a conundrum. That's for sure.
Mark, did you get one of those dusty ones, Mark?
I don't know. The box wasn't dusty, but it's sitting
It was
right.
a dusty one, bro.
It's sitting right over here. We're going to find out tomorrow.
A little crusty, maybe.
Taking it out
You
to the range,
crusty?
man. I'm looking at 305 rounds all magazined up, ready to go. So
Yeah, Rodrigo has a really good video on Pioneer with Graham.
yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Let's
I got a warning for that video because he kept trying to tell people where to buy them and stuff and prices.
Oh
So
yeah, that and prices.
had to-
No.
oh man, I got a warning for that one, and then I had to edit out every single time he mentioned anything about price.
Dude, look at any video from SHOT Show from the big channels. You'll see they're blurring out so much crap on the screen because like every booth has .com this, .com that, and YouTube does not like that at all. So I think everyone's been getting warned. So they're going back and they're editing all these .coms off. YouTube's been on a bender this first month of the year.
Mhm.
Yep.
Did PSA have the 50 at their booth this year?
On the
It
glass
did.
counter, but no touchy.
No,
No
touchy.
touchy.
Just like the Torta booth, no touchy.
Hands off.
Ooh, hands off, huh?
I saw an interesting shift in PSA, and I'm sure you guys saw the same thing. The comments were like starting to get more negative. They're like,
Mhm.
"Oh wow, the third or fourth year of rolling out like this new product, just everywhere. Just throw them all on the table, and we're still not getting 100% or anywhere near of what we wanted, what you guys announced."
And I did see that yesterday or today. Yesterday, PSA came out and said, "Okay, you guys bullied us enough on the X9. We're gonna do it." Okay.
Did you love the X57 video though? We were talking about that in our show guild. He was like, "Don't worry, we have to make some changes. It's still going to take a stick mag." That's really, that's all he said. It's still going to take. Oh, good. We got to make changes,
The mag will still go in the grip, we
Yeah.
promise.
and it will have a grip. Your hand will
Kalash
get
man.
somewhere.
There you go,
Kalash
Kalash
man and
man.
he already went to sleep.
Ah, well, he got the toast. God, I'm way behind on comments. All right, let me speed up a little bit. Let me just get
Hey,
down
can
to
we
the
get everybody to create some burner accounts? Let's get Clay to 200K.
Woo.
You've
I'm
been,
not-
you've been
I'm not
sitting
there
at
yet.
189 for the longest, bro.
I thought I'd get
Really?
there by SHOT Show. Let me look.
No, it still says 189. I'm like, oh my god.
I am 34 away, and I'll have it.
Wow.
Damn. So maybe this video coming up this weekend. What do you
Everyone
guys
in the
have coming
comments.
up this weekend? What's the video? What do you guys have coming up?
I'm gonna finish up my SHOT Show stuff, but that's all I got.
Well, Clay, I'm getting you 3 more here.
There
You got burner
go.
accounts?
3 burner accounts?
Of course you have burner
Damn.
Got
accounts.
4 of them.
Oh my gosh.
Sweet. There you go. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, nothing happens at 200. Pretty sure it's just a number. Let me see here. Must not have work tomorrow. I have work tomorrow. I think we all do. And if you guys need to bail, let me know. I'm just trying to wrap up these questions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting pretty close.
It's late for me on the old East Coast here.
It is.
Talk about Kalash Bash. Not a lot to talk about. The match, both matches are completely sold out now. The subgun match lingered for a while. It's completely sold out. We've booked all of our vendor slots. We're actually expanding one of our vendor tents by 20 feet to try to squeeze 4 more vendors in. Roswell wants to go. So you guys will, if they say yes, you guys will actually get to hold that damn gun.
That's awesome.
Apparently Spike's Tactical is coming out with an AK.
What?
I'm sure it's going to be covered with red anodization. So maybe that will be a KB.
I didn't know they're still around. All right.
Yeah. So Evan Fledman told me that they asked a bunch of companies at SHOT Show asked to go to KB, and I was like, I'll get banned for life. Send me an email when I get home, please. So I think we're gonna have more. We're gonna squeeze about 4 more in. Other than that, we're building props this weekend. Myself and Rodrigo and Jim. We got some awesome props that we're gonna be building. It's gonna be crazy the next 2 months. We are gonna be working our literal asses off. So yeah, KB
That's
is
awesome.
full steam ahead. Let's see. Got an easy bit of buzz.
Oh, that little
We're-
Keltec. Was it the PR3AT, like the 380 version on the 9mm they released, the little stripper clip fed thing? I mean, apparently the 9mm had a lot of issues. I saw a lot of them go out to content guys, and they're like,
5.7. It was
Oh,
5.7.
5.7, yes. Yeah, so you have the 380 now, and it's
Even
lighter. Apparently, it's a little more reliable, real small. Probably still going to be pretty snappy, but I mean, people seem to enjoy it. It's kind of interesting. I had a lot of distributors were like hovering around that table, like
Mhm.
real excited about it. I was like, I don't know who you're distributing this to, but cool.
I did ask them how the capture of Maduro has affected their supply of some booger powder. Yep. And they're like, oh, don't worry, we have stockpiles. And I was like, that's great. They just they lean into it. It's really refreshing to see.
Yeah.
They did a Gen 2 of their K7 shotgun too.
Yep.
Which I hear that thing beats the crap out of your shoulder. I mean, it's a single
Yep.
tube, thin,
Super,
lightweight 12 gauge bullpup.
super light.
They were hyping up that integrally suppressed 9mm. What's that
Yep.
thing called?
No stamp. Come on. Or
What do they call that damn thing? The 9mm that folds in half. I used to own one. I can't remember the name.
Oh,
of it.
Sub 2000.
Yeah, they have a suppressed Sub 2K, and he's like, these things are about to be hot. Like,
It
super
ain't
hot.
that much more than the regular one either, which is crazy.
Yeah. Man, I thoroughly enjoyed that thing. I bought it because I had a 9mm AK at the time that was getting some work done, and like months had gone by. I'm like, God, I need a 9mm subgun. Those things were like $500. And I loved it, dude. I shot the crap out of that gun. And you know what? The freaking mag went into the grip.
Damn,
Just like that
old
PSA
school.
thing that we're never going to get. And it was pretty cool.
Did you guys go to the Century booth at all?
Yes.
Yeah.
Man,
Nothing
so they-
except the Canic thing, right?
I
No,
saw
so they
Anderson
had
Silva.
2011.
Oh, him walking around
doing
a lot.
2011s.
Well, they bought a company that's doing 2011s.
Yeah, it's Live Free
Yeah.
Armory.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought that
it-
was pretty cool because those were cheap. I was like, dang,
Still are,
that's-
yeah.
yeah.
Canic usually has a big launch, and beyond the glow in the dark Cerakote or whatever that you had there, yeah, they had a glow in the dark alien like blood looking thing. They had the Canic Prime Radian, which is a collaboration with Radian, and the Radian Afterburner ramjet goes with it, and then US Palm, which famous AK accessories and all that. They now make ARs.
Yeah.
And if you want the MP5, it comes in tan now.
Oh, it
That's right.
does, but it's an ugly
Right.
tan though.
Yeah,
It's
man,
the RAL 2000. It's called.
I was
RAL
hoping,
2000.
I was like, please, because Century just sort of dropped all those roller guns on us last year, and that was like,
Yep.
what?
That was cool.
I was really hoping, I'm like, please, like maybe we're gonna see like another barrel length on the 5.56. Maybe we're gonna see another barrel length on the 308. Please, and it was just some tan guns. It was all the same thing. But yeah, so
They did have a gold one, Clay. If I had to choose between the M90 or M70 gold and the Century Wasser in gold, I would probably go with the Century Wasser.
yeah, have a more. I would definitely get an AKM gold over a Yugo pattern AK.
Yeah, and so they had one. And I was like, damn, that thing looks so good. I was like, I need a gold AK. I'm freaking Mexican. I need a
So the
gold
same
gun.
guy that did that gold AK for Century is the guy that's doing my gold AK next month.
Damn, bro, you're gonna have
See-
to let me borrow it.
And it's funny because I'm the opposite. If I was going to do a gold AK, it'd have to be a Yugo because of the
Of the checks. The checks are getting
no.
cashed.
Well,
It has
Yugo- well-
everything to do with Iraq. My time in Iraq, man.
I was gonna say you could probably get Ronco to pay for it if you got one of your Yugos gold plated.
Mm.
I know you guys are like that.
I got a cell phone number now, so
Oh shit!
Oh,
Don't let Ghost Boy hear that. You'll never hear the end of it.
I know.
Hey, did you know what crusty Sastava guy I'm talking about?
Yes.
Was he the guy who was like who wouldn't say anything? He was like, I just build these things, and he was like hiding behind the wall.
He's there every year, and he just freaking hides behind. You know how there's
I think I
three
talked to him,
divisions
yeah.
He's like,
of the rank.
Yeah.
He's like, he's poking out, and I'm like, why are you here, bro? You have to
like
hide.
Well, I
Ronco
was-
said, I
I
can't
was- yeah.
talk to you.
I was looking at the AK, like the the 1B, whatever it was, and I was looking at and you could see these eyes through the slats behind the AK. It's just-
That's it.
Yeah. You take the AK off the wall, you see his eyes, and he's like, oh.
Just disappear, like slides the door.
Damn, poor
Oh,
dude.
damn. Well, hey, look, we have gone for 2.5 hours.
Oh man,
Yeah, man.
So I know
On a
Mark's getting
Wednesday.
sleepy. Mark's getting
Yeah.
sleepy.
tired.
Yeah.
I'm barely catching my second win, bro. I can
Yeah.
go for another 2 hours.
I know, dude. That's what Marisol says.
On a weeknight.
Yeah.
Me
Hey, come here. I know the
para
deal.
acá, me para acá.
All right. Rachel's in the comments already. She's telling me I got to go. There's Volk. He's been here the whole time
Yep.
in the chat. Really
Damn.
cool to meet him. Again, haven't seen him in years. Haven't seen him since Red October. I don't even know what year, but awesome, awesome dude. Thanks to everyone that joined in the chat. I really appreciate all you guys. We had a lot of people watching, and I had such a good time with you dudes. We chat all year long in our fake shill guild. It's a funny name for our group chat, and it's cool. That's the one time we all get together, go eat tacos. We went to Hofbrau House and had wieners and got the meat sweats. Go out to
Steak.
Fremont, watch some concerts, smoke
Yep.
stogies on the roof of the Circa. Like, we had such a good time. Hefe hung out with us the whole time. Courtney and Rachel. Wish I got to bump into Steve a bit more. Wish I got to bump into Joe. Didn't even see Joe once. But
He was in
I
the desert.
thoroughly enjoyed. You guys are honestly, and like the homies are the best part of SHOT Show in my opinion. The guns are
100%.
cool, but seeing that core group of people that you see that one time a year, and you're in Vegas, that's the best part about it, I think.
It's a blast.
Yeah. I think
It was a great week.
For me, that's the best part. Just hanging out with you guys. And all the people that you get to meet, man. We can't forget about the Git'ems. Golly! The Git'ems are multiplying, man. There's like 20 of them now.
So many of them. Yeah.
Good.
Hell yeah. Well, again, everyone, make sure you're subscribed to Fit and Fire. Go subscribe to H-Town Werewolf. Subscribe to Gear Know How. They put out way more SHOT Show coverage than I did. So, yeah. And hopefully by the end of this week, we'll be at 200,000 subs. It doesn't mean a damn thing, but damn,
It's
that
cool,
took a lot
man.
of work.
Woo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
It's
goal.
good.
Milestones.
Awesome.
Keep you going.
All right, y'all. Well, damn it. Thanks for watching. Love you guys in the chat. Love all of you. And we'll see you next time.
See you guys.
Later.
Woo-hoo!
Later, y'all.